Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
What a great day to be alive here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman. What up, Brad?
What up, Kyle? Just you and me today. And Strophy, of course.
And Alexander Strophy.
Okay, hold on.
You love calling him Alexander.
That's his name.
That's not my name.
No,
actually.
yeah. I've learned he's a country bumpkin, so his parents forgot to put the Xander on there.
How do you feel about being called the country bumpkin?
Oh, you are a country bumpkin. You're from the sticks. What do you mean?
I'm not from the sticks.
Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Two Rivers. I was raised in Green Bay.
Okay. And you went to high school where?
I went to Denmark High School just off Interstate 43.
Exactly. Two Rivers has 11,000 people. That's country bumpkin.
No.
What do you mean?
Denmark is probably more country bumpkin. That's about 2,000 people.
And you went to school there, so
I went to high school there.
Ain't nothing wrong with country bumpkin. I love country
but
bumpkin.
But it's not like I'm out there playing in mud and.
Take pride in your identity.
I'm a city boy, Kyle.
A city boy.
City boy.
Wow.
The only Denmark most people recognize is the country overseas in Europe.
That I won't argue with, but Denmark, Wisconsin, yeah.
All right, sure.
I'm a city boy, though.
You're not a city boy.
What was the tallest building in
What's the tallest farm?
In Two Rivers? That I don't know. I only lived there for like 6 months, then we moved to Green Bay. The tallest building in Denmark was probably a steeple.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay, that checks out. That's country.
Maybe the high school.
That's country.
You from the sticks. Ain't
The
nothing wrong with
stands
that.
of the high school football.
Yeah, that might be the tallest point in the city. The water tower.
Water tower.
I don't know why you're throwing shots at me, though, Kyle.
What do you mean? Why am I throwing shots at you here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman? Oh, already. What's the breaking news that we have here? We've been on air all of 2 minutes, and you already have breaking news.
This happened long before we were on the air. It happened this morning about 9 a.m. on Wilde and Tausch, which you can hear on these very stations from 9 to noon each and every weekday. But it all started yesterday. Well, really, it all started Tuesday when Mark Tauscher joined us here on KBN.
Oh, okay.
And you guys went back and forth, and you really flustered his feathers a little bit, right?
Yeah, we got in his head. He was acting soft.
And then yesterday, you had this to say about the Packers Hall of Famer and former Green Bay Packer, who is very defensive of the Packers general manager.
The problem is how the mighty have fallen. Look at Tausch. He used to be an NFL starting tackle, a guy that played every year with a great quarterback and was competing for championships. Now look at him. He's a shell of himself. Now he's just sitting here saying, oh, I just want the guys to have fun. I just want them to compete. Goody's doing such. Just give him some time. Give him some time, Goody. Give him some time. They'll be okay. Look at him. He has fallen so far, and it is absolutely disappointing. Actually, I'm so sad for you, Mark Tauscher. I used to love you. But now, I just can't stand the fact that you are just making excuses for the Packers not going all in. What happened to you, man? That sounds pretty factual to me.
I remember living that in real time.
Wow.
Listening back to that was that would cut. I mean, Tauscher, look, he's an offensive lineman, but he
would kick your ass.
He's got a little soft
His
spot
old
in there,
ass
right?
ain't kicking nothing. He can't catch me. I know he used to be light on his feet back in the day, but Tauscher's like pushing 50.
Well, how do you think he responded to that? Because doing my duties as producer, I did send that audio.
You sent
to
that
him.
over to him?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Tausch. I didn't want him to have to hear that.
So you're hiding.
Well,
from
yeah,
what
you
you
No,
said
said.
I'm not
You're trying to
hiding
cover
for
your
what I
tracks?
mean. I wasn't like, I hope he's listening right now. I'm not afraid of Tausch, but, he's fragile.
Do you stand by what you said?
Oh, hell yeah, I stand by
then
what
there
I
you go.
said. It's true. Nothing was I lying, Brad?
I didn't hear a lie.
Thank you.
Wow, Brad.
I mean, he's right. I'm on Kyle's side. I know there's a lot of groupthink accusation going on KBN, but there's a sense of contentment.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
There's a lot of contentment on Wilde and
There's
Tausch.
plenty of groupthink going on that side of the glass, but we'll get to that later. Here's Mark Tauscher this morning, Wilde and Tausch.
Listen, man, it's the big leagues, dude. You can take pot shots at me. I don't give a rip.
The bottom line is, you're sitting here, Goody has put this team in position. You could say 15 years. Was it Goody's fault in 2014? Was it Goody's fault in 2020 when you're the 1 seed? Was it Goody's fault when you're the 1 seed and you blow a game against San Francisco at home? Like, it's not Goody's fault. And it's not easy to win championships. No, it's not. So this whole complacency and all three of those fellas just sitting there and all just patting themselves on the back. Maybe that's good radio. I don't know. Maybe it is. I just sitting there saying, "Oh, this." You have to let a process unfold. You can't. How many times do you see a team go from a Hall of Fame quarterback to being in the playoffs and having a lead to go to an NFC champ the next blanking year? So is it complacency? I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys. I was on the table here saying I want Devonta Adams there. I wanted him. I was one of the first people to say, let's go do it. They didn't.
That's Mark Tauscher from Wilde and Tausch. You can hear 9 to noon. And
I'm waiting for. Well, I was waiting for him to say, and I was disappointed as well that they didn't get Devonta Adams. But Tausch did not go that far.
He didn't go that far because of the fact that for some reason Tausch just doesn't feel like this team is not being built in a way that is actually holding them back, right? And again, 800-990-3776. That is the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. The Carbless list is more talking text line, and that was Mark Tauscher. And my whole thing is he talked about let the process unfold. Brad, I'm with it, right? And you guys know this. I am a fan of Goody. I think Goody did an excellent job with the transition, and I think I praised him for building this roster up. But we cannot sit here, and he said complacent. Yes, it is complacent when you aren't trying to get this team to a championship level. We can all identify. Brad, you played in the NFL. You played football a lot. You were around a lot of great, talented individuals. You played on a championship team. You played on one of the best teams to ever step foot on a football field. I mean, this is not hyperbole, as Ben said. That is a fact, right? So you know what talented teams look like, what talented rosters look like. The Green Bay Packers, yes, they are a good football team, but they are pieces away. And the fact that the Packers are not trying to get those pieces is what bothers me the most. I love what they did the last offseason because they identified a problem at the safety position and they solved it. I just wish they would do that at the D-line position because we do not have an edge rusher that we can trust.
Maybe it is that Tausch still thinks they're in building mode because he's right. Like, okay, yes, it was a major roster conversion to go from an older Aaron Rodgers-centric team from 19 to 21, and you sort of had a down year in 22. To hit the reset button and go young with a new quarterback who turned out to be franchise quarterback, we all put our stamp of approval on Jordan Love as well. That's not an easy process. I think the rebuilding happened sooner than we all anticipated. But it sounds like trust the process, phrases like that leads me to believe that Tausch still believes that they are in building mode. But if I'm going to use Gutekunst himself saying that the window is open, now is the time to start competing for championships, having a sense of urgency, a declarative to the coaching staff, to the players, maybe a little bit toward himself, but certainly to the guys in the locker room, that tells me that they're no longer in building mode. Like, this is the green light, go for it, wide open target to say now is the time when we should start competing for championships. That's not my words. That's not your words. That's Brian Gutekunst's words. So for me to say, and for us to hold him to that standard, I don't think is unfair at all, because you do have a team that turns over a lot. That's the other thing. How long can a rebuilding process last in the NFL? Careers are short. These rookie contracts are short. We've already had most of these guys that are, quote, young that Goody has drafted. They're already halfway or more through their rookie contracts. So you're going to have to be deciding, do we bring him back? Do we not? So I believe it was during the season that we had Rob Domofsky on here, and he even said that, like, it's the next 2 years is your windows, and after that, because of the way contracts expire and you make big decisions, you're sort of in a tough spot of how you want to go about recreating the roster. So I don't think there's any better time than right now to go for it. And he did build a balanced, solid, good roster.
100%.
It's in the little nuanced moves of bringing in a veteran that is maybe a good bargain, making a couple trades, pulling all the levers that you have as an NFL GM. And it just feels like Goody says, I'm not going to pull any of those levers. I've got a draft and develop system. It creates consistency. It creates a level of, hey, we're going to be in the contending conversation every year. But other teams are doing a whole lot more, which is what is frustrating if you're a Packer fan.
Yeah, you can't just sit there and be complacent and think that we're going to wait 4 years for somebody to develop. That's where my biggest issue is as Green Bay Packers fans, is that we have seen under Goody is that we have waited for people to develop. We talk about the different draft classes where we all know most of his early on draft classes have been failures. Those are the guys that should have been the mainstays on this roster that can help be the veterans. Those should be the guys who are 27, 28 years old, right there with Jordan Love in 26, 27, 28. Those should be the guys who are the veterans on this roster. Unfortunately, he missed way too often from first round all the way down to seventh round early on, which is hurting this team. And so how are you asking me to trust in Goody to draft guys and then trust in this coaching staff to develop guys when there has not been a track record of doing that? We don't have fourth, fifth, and sixth-year guys that we're saying here looking at and saying, oh, that's great. You just lost more guys that you drafted. You had a guy in your center that you just lost who, Stroh, correct me if I'm wrong, he was drafted in the second round as well at the end of the second round. You lost him now in free agency. You lost your running back in A.J. Dillon as well, who was drafted in the second round to free agency as well. And so you can't have all these swings and misses early on and think that everybody's going to be happy. And so when he tells me we got to be patient, we have to let the process unfold, Tausch, he ain't new to this. He's been doing this. And so we let the process unfold, and when we let the process unfold, we have guys that we aren't bringing back. We have guys like a Romeo Doubs going into his fourth year, and we're still trying to figure out whether or not he's going to be a guy. We have a guy like Christian Watson who is going to be heading into his fourth year. We're going to see, okay, how much do we want to pay him? How much is too much, right? We're not sitting here talking about we got to keep him. We're trying to figure out, well, are we going to overpay for him? What's his actual value? When you're talking about fourth-year guys and trying to figure out their value, that is a problem. We can talk about Quay Walker. We can talk about Devontae Wyatt. There are way too many question marks on this roster from what Goody drafted, and this is why I can't just sit here and say, well, let's trust the process. Let's see it play out. We've let it play out, and we've seen that it has not been enough, and that is a problem. That's why I call Goody out. I always give him the respect of the fact that he has built a solid roster, but building a solid roster is not the goal. Building a championship roster is the absolute goal. I want the 2015 Carolina Panthers team. That's what I want, and I should not be knocked for having that because, as I said yesterday, we call this Title Town. We say we have expectations. Well, damn it, I want us to live up to those. I don't want us to settle for just waiting on the process all the dang time.
Well, I think you're totally right in that. And to Goody's credit, he's already done 80% of the hard work. That's finding a franchise quarterback, building an offensive line, having some playmakers across the ball. So he's already done most of the hard work. All we're asking to do is that final 20%. That final 20% to fill the holes, really take it from being a good to very good roster to a great roster. And the reason why I think it's okay that we have, I don't think I would say it's impatient because, again, we're using his words. I think the Patriots dynasty and the Chiefs' current dynasty is clouding how long we think the NFL window, the championship window, really exists. I mean, from even the time that I was playing, many dynasties have come and gone all throughout the time, and their window is usually only a couple years. Even my Carolina Panthers, like we went to the playoffs, then we took the next step to the divisional round, then we went to the Super Bowl, and just like that. It was over because guys get older, guys contracts, you lose guys in free agency, there's injuries. But also, Seattle came and went. San Francisco seems to be coming and going. Philadelphia turned over their roster from winning a Super Bowl completely into a new one. The Rams, the Falcons, the Saints, those are just NFC teams that has had glimpses of good, and you're trying to take advantage in the moment because it goes really quickly. I just don't want Goody to ruin the 80% hard work he's already done of putting together a good quality team that is going to make the playoffs, and they're going to make some noise. But I feel like there's 2 or 3 legitimate moves away from being a team that can stand with anybody in the NFL, and that's all we're asking.
I guess I tend to agree with most of that, Brad, but I think the 80% is much larger than the 80 you're giving him. I think
how much is he worth? 90%?
Yeah, probably 90, 95, right? Like finding a franchise quarterback is that important. And while we haven't seen, hopefully, the best of Jordan Love yet, they've made the decision that he is their guy, right? They made him one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. And if it doesn't work out, that will be Goody's downfall ultimately. But to make that pick when he did, how he did, what it turned Aaron Rodgers into, it put that ginormous chip on Rodgers' shoulder, which led to 2 MVPs, which led to 2 appearances in the NFC Championship game. Like, Goody gets credit for that too, though, doesn't he? He gets credit for making the pick when he did. He gets credit for having championship-ready teams in the Rodgers era still. He's been the general manager for 7 seasons. They made the playoffs, 5 of them, including the year after they moved on from the aforementioned 4-time MVP. He gets credit for that. So I don't think it's a fair knock to say he hasn't been urgent, because in his eyes, I think he has been urgent.
I disagree. What makes you think that he's been urgent? I mean, I guess he's made some moves when he's had some money.
Exactly.
But the urgency to me, when I think about urgency, I see teams who actually want to go for it. The Philadelphia Eagles.
He views the holes differently than you do, Kyle.
That's not going for Devontae is criminal. That's criminal.
I mean, everybody on ESPN Wisconsin banged the drum for that move. I agree with you on that. Like, I agree that a number 1 receiver would help the roster. Goody doesn't agree with us.
No, see,
and that whether he's going to be proven right or wrong is to be seen. But that was his decision to make, and he made it. I disagree. I'm with you. I agree, Brad, with you.
Strofe.
I don't agree with Goody on that. But could he be proven right? Absolutely, he still could be. That season still has yet to be played out.
Strofe, but when I look at this, right, I look at a couple teams. We'll just go with the last. We'll go with the last 2 teams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. You have the San Francisco 49ers. What the 49ers do? They were a good football team, but they said, you know what, we want to get better. And so what did they do? They made a big trade and got Christian McCaffrey. Why? Because they felt like he can upgrade and make that team better. And so then they re-signed Brandon Ayuk.
That was after they went to the Super Bowl.
But that's my whole point, is that what they wanted to do was they wanted to make sure that team they were fortified and they were in a great position. And then I look at the Philadelphia Eagles. What did the Philadelphia Eagles do a couple years ago? They traded for A.J. Brown. First-round pick they traded for him. They drafted Devontae Smith, first-round pick. And then what did they do after having a down year the year prior this year? They signed Saquon Barkley. They didn't sit on their hands and say, well, you know, we were in the playoffs the year before. We started off like 10-1, and so we have a go. No, they said, you know what? DeAndre Swift wasn't bad for them. But you know what they did? They said, we can upgrade and get a better player. And so all I'm saying is that I just want Goody to understand that if you don't hit on the draft, you got to supplement that with signing free agents, or even acquiring and trading for people. And he has been reluctant to actually trade and acquire great talent. And that talent, those trades, can be the trades that put you over the top. Because I'm telling you this right now, the Eagles, though A.J. Brown was up and down in the playoffs, he's a big piece of that team. Not having A.J. Brown in his roster, will they go to the Super Bowl? We don't know.
He's a top 5 receiver in the league. I'm with you.
And so exactly. And so they just made sure that they put as many pieces around their quarterback and their offense to put them in a position to do what? Not to compete, not to win the NFC East. No, to win a Super Bowl, because they recognized they had a window of opportunity. They went to a Super Bowl, didn't go, and they didn't just sit there and say, we're not going to do anything. No, they had a Super Bowl caliber team. They had a down year, and they added one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL. That is a team that's motivated to win championships.
But that's the year it worked. Right? I think there are many, many, many more examples of times where that doesn't work. Howie Roseman has proven he's probably the best general manager in the NFL. I don't think anybody's going to push back on me when I say that, the Philadelphia Eagles general manager. It worked for the Eagles last year. But, Brad, you've been around the game long enough to acknowledge teams will do this, right? They'll go all in. I think, Philadelphia the year prior, or San Francisco now as it's crumbling with old age and injuries. I think Washington might end up being an example of this year, where they've spent a ton of money and they've gone all in free agency to get over that hump, and it just burns you. That hasn't been the case with Goody. That's why the consistency has worked so well. It hasn't resulted in championships, but this is a team that's always there.
Would you rather be... Okay, we can say this.
In the conversation,
would we rather the Green Bay Packers have won a Super Bowl out of the, 2 times that they went to the NFC Championship in the last 5 years, I want to say?
But I think coaching deserves more blame there.
No, what I'm saying... But coaching, but
coaching plays a role too. I agree.
If Aaron Rodgers had a legit wide receiving threat, he did have.
But Kyle, he didn't throw to young receivers.
Add some talented guys around. I'm just looking at like a Devontae Smith and an A.J. Brown. They're really, really talented. Running back in Aaron Jones, I like that. I understand this. That doesn't all fall on Goody, but we got to give our guys as much talent as possible. Aaron Rodgers cried for talent. Give him real talent.
But Aaron Rodgers cried for talent, but he hated Amari Rodgers. He didn't talk to Romeo Doubs. He didn't talk to Christian Watson. He wasn't good with rookie receivers. That's why I don't love that argument, because even if you bring in, and I know this is going to be an incredibly extreme example, but Justin Jefferson was a first-round pick, right? And he is now the best receiver in football. Even if you bring him in, does that change the result of that Tampa Bay NFC Championship game?
Justin Jefferson?
I know it's an extreme example, but will Aaron Rodgers throw him the football?
Yeah, a first-round receiver, yes.
But you saw how he treated young receivers. There's a laundry list of guys he was not fair to. So I don't think it's just as easy as, well, if they draft Justin Jefferson instead of Jordan Love, they win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's that simple. It's revisionist history to a point. And I agree. It is as extreme of an example as I can give you, because Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. But if you go out and you get who's the Jalen Reagor, right, who hasn't worked out in that same draft, they don't win a Super Bowl, but he was a first-round pick in that draft. It's not as simple as we can sit here and make it 5 years after the fact.
I just think you look at Eagles, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Buccaneers those years. You're a team that either tilts towards aggressive or you tilt toward conservative. And the Packers just tilt toward conservative. It creates consistency, but you don't usually fare well against those teams that tilt aggressive.
800-990-3776. I guess we got beef because you have Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon right here on ESPN Wisconsin. They're standing on the hill. They're supporting Goody regardless. They say let the process play out. Let it unfold. Here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, we respect Goody, but we want Goody to do more because we want championships. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk, the text line. List is more. I want to see your reaction. Also, make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube. That's ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. I see Ben Brust is in the chat right there. Brad will be in the chat. I'll be in the chat. But make sure you watch and stream us live. Give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe as we are on our road to 10,000 subscribers. But on the other side, we talked about some of the frustrations that we have with Goody and not going all in. We respect him, and we want him to go all in. But Brad Nortman actually thinks we give him too much credit. He'll tell you why on the other side. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
That is completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable for a team to
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Is acceptable? Unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
Unaccessible. Wait,
what?
Wait, my mind is
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. What did I say?
Unacceptable.
My mouth and brain
unacceptable.
Are like not
unacceptable.
Right now.
What did I say?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich.
Finding the right seat for a Milwaukee Bucks game is easy with our Seat For You guide. Whether you're on a budget, need flexibility with your schedule, or want to bring the whole crew, we've got options to fit your needs. The best part? You just have to answer a few quick questions at bucks.com/seat4you. No matter what you're looking for, there's a seat with your name on it. Find the ticket option that works best for you at bucks.com/seat4you.
Look Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 18 to 24.6-ounce selected varieties Vandecamp's fish, $4.49. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties Dan and Greek yogurt, 5 for $5. 9.5 to 10.75-ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, 2 for $4.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Take me to your best friend's house. I love you then and I love you now. Oh, yeah.
It is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices studio. And what a great debate we had. Because we're going back and forth with Wildy and Tausch. I don't even know. You know what? I'm not even going to be mean.
It's your fault.
No, it's not my fault. I was keeping it 100. Nothing I said in that clip. Earlier, Stroh played a clip that was played for Wildy and Tausch, and obviously we're under the skin of Mark Tauscher, the big bad Mark Tauscher, who I looked up to. And, you know, when he won a Super Bowl with the Packers, I was so happy for him and the Wisconsin guy. And now, you know, he's upset because we're just being, you know, tough on Goody.
Yeah, I mean, it's David versus Goliath. I mean, KBN, we are David, and he's Goliath. He's the big bad former Packer who is well-known and well-respected in this state for sure. But I think he's, you know, his we all love the Packers to a certain degree, but his closeness to the Packers and his stance of being a Goot stan, I think it's sort of clouding his vision a little bit.
I think it is clouding his vision quite a bit. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. You can text in or you can call in like Chris. Chris, you are on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing today?
Doing great,
good,
kid.
Chris.
How's it out in Muskego?
Cloudy and cold, but I'll deal with it. You know, I give Goody a B+. He's made moves, and there's been times when I wish he would have made moves, just like Kyle there, where they should have tried to get a good top wide receiver, and he didn't do it. I'm kind of mad at him for not getting any veteran help the last couple of years.
Yep.
But hit or miss with him and the rest of the guys, they've been doing good. But here's one thing I'm sick and tired of hearing, and this is Rodgers didn't have the right talent. When he played Tampa Bay, he threw 3 of the worst passes in his career to DA at the goal line when he could have ran it in like he did the week before against L.A. He had Tonyan open on second down. He had Lazard open on at him. San Francisco, he looked like Brett Favre against the Giants, old and slow. He had DA in multiple double coverage in the 2-minute drill, and all they needed was to move the ball, pick up another first down. And what does he do? He throws it in double coverage, and there's Lazard reading Moby Dick wide open. All they had to do was get it to him, get the first down, go out of bounds. All they needed was a field goal to tie that game up and try to put it in overtime. But he it was one of his worst games, too. He looked like crap.
Yeah, Chris, that's good. Reading Moby Dick. That's an all-time line. That's so good.
I have nothing to say to Chris because Chris, you're right. How much I love me some Aaron Rodgers back in the day. You're right. Aaron Rodgers did mess it up at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about how early in Rodgers' career, maybe that like 2012 to 2016 run, even 2018, where he didn't have a great defense, felt like he was putting the world on his shoulder. There's really no excuse for 2019, 2020, 2021. I mean, Rodgers played some horrible games when the Packers needed him to be that MVP level quarterback. If they did that, he likely would have led the Packers onto a Super Bowl. And even like how that is structured in the Gutekunst conversation, I'm even hesitant to bring those teams up, 19, 20, 21, because like, in my opinion, those are mostly Ted Thompson teams. Right, the bulk of those veterans, the contributors, those are mostly Ted Thompson teams. Now, Gutekunst, he drafted Jair, Rashawn Gary, those guys played a role. He brought in those guys, in the 2019 free agency, so he had a stamp on it. And yes, I know he was the director of player personnel, so he had a say in that team. But most of those guys were Ted Thompson guys, so I'm a little bit hesitant to say, oh yeah, it's Goody's fault that those years didn't work out. I think it's accurate to say LaFleur made some mistakes, and Rodgers made some mistakes. I think this team, though, is fully all the fingerprints of Goody written all over it. So therefore, with these teams, I think we can assign those to him. And I know there's some people in the chat, in the YouTube chat, talking about, what about LaFleur? What about coaching? What about development? Fellas, this is the youngest team in NFL history to make playoffs.
Ain't that the truth,
how
Bradley?
much time you need to be able to draft and develop these guys? You need to balance it out with some veterans and some development, and that's Goody's choice. He decides not to add veterans. He decides to keep it young, and then from there, just says, this is who we're going to be.
Brad, isn't it pretty clear to you that Goody, and I remember we cited an article, I don't know, Brad, you have good memory, probably 2-3 months ago, where it talked about the 3 to 5 year window that he's constantly looking at. The young guys that are going to evolve into the veterans of this team are going to extend that window, right? Think about the Zach Tom at right tackle. Think about the Jordan Love, obviously, who's now under contract. I think of some of these receivers, the tight ends, these guys that are going to be entering the period of those second contracts. Those are going to become the veterans. So I think this 3 to 5 year window started a couple years ago. This is probably now entering year 3 where the window is really open. But that window is going to be extended because these younger guys will become the veterans, and then he's going to draft and develop underneath them. So I think the master plan is actually much longer term than just, hey, 2025, let's go win a Super Bowl. And I saw in the text line a couple texts of, well, the teams that have won the Super Bowl recently have gone all in. Now let's set teams like New England and Kansas City aside. Yes, it has worked out for Philadelphia, and it worked out for the Rams, and it worked out for Tampa Bay that one year. But if Philadelphia aside, how have they been since then, right? The Rams, not so good.
The
49ers.
The Rams won more playoff games than we did. What do you mean, not so good?
I mean, sure. But to go all in, doesn't that equle Super Bowl? Versus when we're talking about the youngest team in football?
But they're performing at the same level or better than us, right? Like that's the thing.
But their window's closed.
They were able to.
What did they do this offseason, Kyle?
Oh, well, they had to. They got Devontae Adams.
Aaron Donald retired. They got Devontae Adams, but they got rid of Cooper Kupp.
But that's the big thing.
They've also drafted pretty well to redo the coffers. And Goody's drafted pretty well too.
No, they lost
the second oldest.
They lost
currently the oldest quarterback under contract.
They lost Aaron Donald and drafted a guy who I believe was the defensive rookie of the year.
Jared Verse.
Yeah, you're right.
That is
different
impressive.
Position,
but still impressive. Like that is the type of let things unfold, play out. It didn't take 3 years to let it play out and unfold. It happened right away. Why is it that we always have to wait for it, let things unfold? I want more Edgerrin Coopers and Evan Williams.
Yeah, so Strofe, so why do you think Goody says we need to have a certain sense of urgency to be contend for championships now, when maybe the core is going to peak in 2 or 3 years? Because, Dobbs, Watson, they're likely going to be gone. And then not next year, but the year after, you're talking about Reed and Wicks. those guys are going to be in their final year of those contracts. So there is a little bit of turnover, but I agree. There is a really good base for long-term success. So why does he say that then?
Because I think he believes it, right? Like, I think, and I talked about this yesterday, Mr. Irrelevant, but and I've told you guys this off the air, but I'll bring it on the air because I think I figured it out, right? I'm a genius, Brad. I don't know if you know this about me. So I think I figured out.
Yeah, you lost me. Genius.
Kyle, don't read the text line. That'd be my advice to you.
Oh, I
People
can't
aren't
wait.
being very nice to you.
Well, I see some good ones. Make sure 800-990-3776. Any of the hate texts that you have, I can actually see them today. They try to screen them and keep them away from
My favorite one is from Tim that says, Kyle, I hope you get a promotion so we don't have to listen to you anymore.
Oh, I missed that one.
Jeez.
Thank you.
So I think
you're making good points.
I think I figured it out, and I brought it up a little bit earlier. The Packers view this very differently than we do, right? Like, we have our opinions as fans, wide receiver, edge, they need the upgrade. I have three things I think the Packers viewed this offseason as. Well, four things let's go with. Number one, offensive line was their biggest need. Goody saw how it imploded in the playoff game against Philadelphia. He fixed it by letting Josh Myers walk, kicking Elton Jenkins over, and obviously signing Aaron Banks to the mega deal he did. Number two, they don't view edge as a personnel issue. They view it as a coaching issue. They fired the defensive line coach. They brought in Robert Covington as the new defensive line coach. They view that as a coaching issue more so than a personnel issue. As much as I think all three of us would disagree, that's how they view it. Number three, for the second year in a row, they view receiver as guys that can take the next step. And again, I know we saw it last year and it really didn't indicate to us that it's going to work, but that's how they view it. These receivers can take the next step. And number four is they didn't get the version of Jordan Love they paid.
I agree with that.
And
that's fair.
And maybe he was more injured than we were privy to. Maybe those injuries were worse and he just was unable to play his top game. So I think if they're right on all four of those things, right? Offensive line got upgraded. Defensive line is a coaching issue, not a personnel issue. Wide receivers take the step. Jordan Love takes the step. I think they view the window as open. I think that's how the Packers, from their perspective, approach the offseason.
I think that's a fair breakdown. I think that's exactly how they view it. Strofe showing his brilliance, of course. My thing is, do we believe that? Like, do we believe that? I agree. Offensive line, man, O-lines win you championships. I'm good with bulking up the O-line. Jordan Love, we know he needs to be an elite quarterback for them to win a Super Bowl. Just a blanket statement saying D-line, it's coaching, not personnel, when they really got to, look at, hey, the way we draft and the way we build, are they being productive? And wide receivers taking a next step. Those are scary propositions to me.
Scary propositions indeed. 800-990-3776. I love what I see on the talking text line, like for real. I love everybody's input. We're going to get to these on the other side, but then in addition to that, make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube. That's ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube. Keep all the love text coming in. Keep all the hate text coming in. Just keep them coming in, and trust me, we're going to read all of them. But, Brad, you got to tell me about your friends.
Oh, that's right, because Carbless on a Thirsty Thursday like this, It is a perfect night to sit back, relax, open one up, and enjoy, because there's a lot to enjoy, particularly with their new flavors of 2025. Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. I mean, get out of here. Blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit. Each can perfectly put together, delicious, feeling like, you know what? Say goodbye to the cloudy, cold weather of Wisconsin. Hello, warmth of a tropical paradise, each one bottled up in that Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Not only that, but the Mango Vodka Cocktail, a 4-pack that is just crisp, clean mango with every sip. Carbless does it again, folks. You know I love the classic cocktails. You know I love the fruit. You know I love the margarita. But the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack and Mango Cocktail, so good. And everything you love about Carbless. Everything I love about Carbless. No sugar, no carbs, no gluten. That means no guilt. 100 calories and low carbonation made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Love everything there is about Carbless. Why don't you discover why less is more tonight with Carbless?
800-990-3776. We'll continue this conversation that should we let the process unfold? Are we being way too hard on Goody? That's what Willie and Tausch believe. They believe we're being too hard on Goody. We think we're just setting and trying to live up to the standards here. We want to know what you think. Again, 800-990-3776. Watch and stream us live. We'll continue the conversation on the other side. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on your favorite station, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
But what I've heard is very nutritious.
I was actually about to ask. This is the last conversation on it. Did you taste it?
Come on, did you taste it?
You got to. You got to make sure that it's good and good for your baby.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan Brust has. I have not yet.
Okay.
I definitely am.
You might as well take a little shot.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Main.
Discount Liquor.
Save big money on your next bathroom upgrade. Now at Menards. Check out our great selection of shower heads from Waterpik. They have innovative, sleek designs with Power Pulse, therapeutic massage for your comfort. Enjoy a better shower experience today with Waterpik. Get a 6-spray handheld shower head. On sale now through April 6th. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with a group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
See, I need Goody to have this energy. If you gave me a chance, I'd take it. I'd take it, and I'll build this roster up and get the pieces we need.
You're a ginormous
Because
store.
when I am with the Green Bay Packers, there's no place I'd rather be, and I want the trophy. I don't know. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. No Ben Brust today. Ben Brust is doing what he does, taking time away, being Ben Brust. But you always have the wonderful NFL longtime punter, Wisconsin punting legend. He is on the Mount Rushmore of specialists at Wisconsin. Bradley Nortman.
Take that.
You have String Bing Strofe.
No trophy here, but you got Strophy here.
Yeah. I like that. And you
Brad laughs at the worst jokes.
No, that is so good. That
no
is
trophy,
so
but you have
good.
Trophy. I like that. And you have the Never Was Me
pun. I mean, who doesn't love that? If somebody doesn't like that, you need to find more joy in your life.
I like that. If somebody doesn't like the fact that we want to hold Goody to higher standards, then you need to raise your standards. That's what this conversation has been about today. Again, y'all been going crazy on YouTube. You can go crazy on YouTube as well as we talk with you all there at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and a like and subscribe as we are on our way to 10,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube. But 800-990-3776. Your text messages, they have been absolutely fantastic. Ryan said on the Carbless Talking text line, he said, KBN, as long as the general manager is who it is in Green Bay, this team will never win a Super Bowl. He's not going to jeopardize his job. Get it through your head. Brad, can you get that through your head?
I mean, it's a good way to keep your job, to have job security, just continue to be good to very good. And
making money.
I do believe that Brian Gutekunst's perspective is not too far off from the Milwaukee Brewers. I think, now it's not exactly the same. Milwaukee Brewers are a little bit handicapped because they have a much lower salary cap than some of the big boys, where it's even in the NFL. But the Brewers just try to field as good of team as they possibly can, never truly go great, and then try to make the playoffs. And then let's just see where things fall, even if they're maybe not as stacked as other teams in the MLB playoffs, but you never know. You might get lightning in a bottle. I think that's what Goody does. I think he's like, look, if I can just keep making the playoffs every year, maybe we're a 1 seed, maybe we're a 7 seed, but we're in the dance, and all we got to do is catch lightning in a bottle and win some games to go on a Super Bowl run. I truly believe that's how he views it.
Don on a Carbless Talking text line, listens more, says, stand your ground, KBN, stand your ground. All I'm saying is Goody can do more than being good. Tausch is still celebrating the transition from Rodgers to Love. He deserves that praise, but we are past that now. It's time for this team to make it the best team they can be.
I mean, it is time. And we talked about how most quarterbacks, if they win a Super Bowl, it occurs from like 27 to 31. And Jordan Love's going to be 27 next year. So that is the time to do it. When your skill set peaks, your athleticism peaks, and before the downfall starts to occur. There's exceptions, of course, but now's the time, baby.
Also, Ryan, a Bears fan in Madison, this is what I don't like to hear. He said, as a Bears fan, I hope Green Bay keeps Goody another 10 to 15 years. By that time, the Bears will pass the Packers and win a Super Bowl. When fan bases want you to keep,
that's lame.
It is lame. That's what losers talk about. But shout out to you, Ryan in Madison. Dave from Aaron, he said, if the Packers were in the championship game last year and knew we were one piece away, then Goody didn't do anything, I would be angry. But we're still multiple pieces away, which I agree with, Brad.
But wait, I don't understand. So if we were one piece away, he'd be less concerned, but we're multiple, so you're not. I think either way you look at it, even Josh Jacobs said Super Bowl week, he was asked on one of the many shows he was on, so what do you think? You're a guy away? And I believe his exact response was, Josh Jacobs is, I think we're a few. A few is 3. And I think we can say wide receiver, cornerback, DN, something like that. And when you only are a few pieces away, you can acquire a few pieces in an offseason and be right there. So I think that's just where my frustration is. This is a really good team. It's a really balanced team. They're a young team. There's a lot of ways you can go ahead and finish out the roster to get 2 or 3 guys to put you in the same tier as, the Lions and the Eagles. So I don't know what he's waiting for, maybe. Is my stance.
Kyle, do me a favor. To your right, there is a wheel. You see that wheel? Can you bring that over to your mic, please? So before we get to
yes, sir, producer Alex Stroh.
Before we get to over-under here in a few minutes, the phone calls are lining up. So you're going to spin that wheel, and we're going to play the wheel of calls. So go ahead and spin that wheel.
Oh, that was a weak spin.
Come on, give me another spin.
There we go.
Who's it going to be? Looking like Derek, Lake Geneva. You're up on KBN.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. How y'all doing?
What's up, Derek?
Good.
Dynamite. So I did have to call in about the same topic this morning with Wildy and Tausch. And I see it as this. Goody has not done a good job because I think the scouts we have underneath Goody are not doing a good job. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're shopping for jewelry for baby girl, you're going to a grocery store, you're buying a car, I think we'd all agree we're doing the best we can with the information we have at hand.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, this guy's been striking out at a plate more often than not. You can't be letting first, second, third, fourth rounders be letting go off the sideline. I think this year, and you're going to like this, I think you're going to need to make a splash. When I say a splash, we need to be talking about Green Bay on Thursday night. We've never had the draft there. We need to be talking about it on Friday night and on Saturday. Goody needs to move his ass up and trade and get a trade for Hunter at like number 3 because we need a wide receiver and a quarterback.
You know what?
Wow, that's an aggressive stand. Somebody get him in the building and coach him up to Goody.
Wow.
That's aggressive right there.
To be honest, I do think a Travis Hunter comes in the league right away and is a difference maker. And the Green Bay Packers need difference makers now. And it's not realistic and it's not a video game, and the Packers just aren't going to do it. Teams can do it, but he's not going to mortgage the future to do it. I like that.
Kyle, we've got time for 2 more calls. Let's see if we can get 2 more in. Spin that wheel.
Here
I've got a full phone line over here. We got 2 left. Let's see where we go. We are going to Josh in Kenosha. Josh, you're up on KBN.
Hey, guys. So, Kyle, do you want to get more depressed about the defensive line?
Okay.
In the last 5 seasons for Trey Hendrickson, his last year in New Orleans and 4 with Cincinnati, he has 71.5 sacks.
Dang.
Compare that to all the sacks that the Goody draft picks have, and you're going to be even more disappointed that he didn't go out and get that dude. Absolute game wrecker.
So how many sacks do they have, Josh? You got to do the math for me. How many sacks did the first round picks have in the last 5 years?
Well, I got to do a little more research, but I can tell you it's not even close to 71.5.
I can tell you right now that you're probably absolutely right, and we're talking about multiple guys. Man, thanks for not making my day, Josh. I appreciate that, KBN Nation.
Cuts deep.
I like when people call in to ruin your day. That's good. Let's see if we can make your day with we've got time for 1 more call. Go ahead, spin that wheel, Kyle.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, we stay in the lovely city of Kenosha. Kyle in Kenosha, you're last up on KBN.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's happening, Kyle?
My question is going to be going a little bit different direction. I want to know, what you guys feel about, because I haven't heard you talk about it at all, what kind of impact McCole Hardman is going to have, what his role is going to be, and could he possibly be like a mentor to these young receivers, or even be possibly a number 2 because of all the drops and injuries?
Yeah. Well, based off what Andy Reid said and based off what I also heard from Matt LaFleur is that he's fast and he's nice.
Yeah, so don't have a lot of expectations for McCole Hardman. Now, I do think he can be capable as a returner. It might free up Keyshawn Nixon to focus on being, hopefully not cornerback 1, but a starting cornerback for sure for the Green Bay Packers. But I kind of view him as a gadget guy. He's able to take the top off the defense, but he's not going to be playing 90% of the snaps, right? I view McCole Hardman as playing, if he makes the team, I see him playing maybe 50% of the snaps, something like that. It's a crowded wide receiver room already, and that doesn't even include drafting a guy, which I do think the Packers are going to do very early. So,
Brad, can I just give a simple answer?
He's just a guy. He's a guy.
You paid him $1.5 million. You ain't paying nobody $1.5 million and think they're going to make an instant impact in your receiver room.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
How much these receivers get paid now? 1.5 is absolutely nothing. But thank you to everybody who called in, chimed in, texted in. But now it's your time to win something, right, Strophy?
Yeah, it's time to win an ESPN Wisconsin prize pack. It's time to play our favorite game. It's over-under on KBN. I've got a topic. I've got an over-under line. Kyle and Brad will have 3 minutes to get either the over or the under on said topic. Right now, I need let's do caller 8 and caller 12, 800-990-3776. Caller 8, caller 12. Right now, you are going to choose either the over or the under for over-under, which is coming up next on KBN. Before we get to that, though, got to tell you about a great event coming up in June in Madison. You remember the moments from that magical March in 2015. Frank Kaminsky leading the charge for Bo Ryan of Wisconsin in a run to the championship. Relive it all. Made 'em Believe is coming June 26th at the Orpheum Theater. Join Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Bo Ryan, and more for an intimate night at the Orpheum Theater to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. Tickets are on sale. UWHoops2015.com. That's UWHoops2015.com. Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, Potosi Hard Seltzer, and M3 Insurance. Over-under is coming up next. Caller 8, caller 12 right now, 800-990-3776. That's next on KBN.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I was like, it's the 4-1-4 hour at 4. I'm not going to lie. I feel like the kid who, got picked on the sports team. I was like, oh, you want me? No way. Because all last week, it was so much fun to do that. And I was like, well, I guess it's back to Kyle doing it now. When you said, want to do it with me? I was like, oh, yeah, let's do it.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Memories made at a Milwaukee Bucks game last a lifetime. And this season, you can experience the unbelievable action your way. With a partial season ticket plan, you get to choose the games that work for your schedule, your budget, and your crew. Feel the intensity of the NBA's biggest matchups, the thrill of buzzer beaters, and the energy that brings the crowd to its feet. Be part of the moments that make Bucks basketball special. Find the plan that works for you at bucks.com/partial.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love, making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase, $5 off 3-pound bags of estate grass seed, just $9.99, plus new colors of men's and women's Carhartt pocket tees, 2 for $30. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Some road trips are about the journey, others are where they take you. And sometimes, the best destinations are just across the Wisconsin border. There you'll find Higher Love stands out with the largest selection of products at an unbeatable value, making every trip worth it. Less than an hour from Green Bay and just over 2 from Milwaukee, Higher Love in Menominee is closer than you think. Come see why they are voted best in Michigan. Also find them in Ironwood or any of their 9 UP locations. Start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
She told me, honey, pick your poison, mine's a lemon and gin with a hit. I mix some pretty poison over the
Yep, it's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman. He is Alex Strofe. No Ben Brust today, but you have us. Always remember you can watch and stream us live on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube as well. But now it is time for Over Under Strophe. Let's get it going.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Down to two of you this week.
Challenge accepted.
Hopefully no NCAA basketball.
No sports at all.
Oh, okay. Finance?
Intrigued.
Business?
Yeah.
Wait a minute now. Now you're in his wheelhouse. I can help a little bit.
Not quite neither of those.
General silliness?
General knowledge, general trivia.
Oh, he's smart.
Fellas, today, caller 8 was Ann in Oconomowoc. She
Hey.
believes in you.
Okay, Ann. I
is
love
on the
that.
over. Dave from Tosa, not by choice, is on the under. He was caller 12. Dave and Tosa on the under, Ann in Oconomowoc on the over. Fellas, simply put today, I am looking for the 10 most populated cities in the state of Wisconsin.
Oh, I actually can do this.
The over-under is 7.5, so you need 8, 9, or 10 to get the win.
Oh, wow.
Who's going to be the final answer? You sound confident.
I'll be the final answer.
Yeah,
this
you
is
can go ahead and do
actually
that.
pretty easy.
Let's go to work and see how easy it is. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, and I imagine you're going to knock out the top 3 right away.
Yeah, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yep.
Final. Madison, Wisconsin. Final.
That's number 2.
Waukesha, Wisconsin. Final.
Waukesha's number 8.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. Final.
That is number 4.
I believe.
Or excuse me, number 3.
Racine, I believe, is on. Yeah, Racine. Final.
Yep, I do Racine.
Okay, that is number 5. So just to recap, you have Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, Racine, and Waukesha.
Kenosha, final.
You now have the top 5. Kenosha's number 4.
Now, so Brookfield's pretty large. You grew up there.
Ooh, I wouldn't put it in the
It's
top.
like 30,000, 40,000 people, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Beloit's pretty large as well. Janesville is decently large. It's sneaky big. I don't know how. See, my problem is I don't know how big La Crosse is. I know it's a pretty decent sized city.
Yeah.
For a guy that said he could do this, you've lost steam.
I think.
Well, I got to think it through now.
What about like Sheboygan?
Sheboygan is on that list. I feel like it
2 minutes.
It may be on there.
Let's list as many as we think we can. So you said Janesville, Sheboygan, La Crosse. I don't think Brookfield. I really don't.
Because I thought
we can put it out.
Ozaki doesn't have a lot of big cities. But also, you know who doesn't have a lot of big cities? Washington County doesn't have a lot of big cities as well.
Right.
I think honestly, Brookfield might be on. I'll put Brookfield down. Let's go with this. Let's go with Beloit. Final answer.
Okay, Beloit.
Okay.
So we have 6 right now, correct?
Yeah, you need 2 more.
Okay.
2 more.
And you have 3 guesses left.
And you feel confident about Sheboygan and Janesville or Sheboygan at all?
Well, no, I don't feel confident about it. I feel like Stevens Point is in there.
I don't know.
Maybe not. There's always I remember like in state basketball when we played teams.
Well, because they had I think Stevens Point maybe had a
By the way,
people there.
Beloit number 23 on this
With
list.
how many?
36,000.
Okay, so Brookfield's definitely not on that list.
And just to give you context, Waukesha is the city that is the lowest. That is number 8 on the list. It has 71,000.
Oh yeah. Brookfield ain't on this list.
Dang.
I would say
maybe Sheboygan is on that list.
Let's do Sheboygan.
Sheboygan, final answer.
Oh, just off the list. It's number 13 with 49,000.
Oh, man.
2 guesses left, and you need them both.
All right.
Well, we have La Crosse, Janesville, Stevens Point.
What's up in the Green Bay area? Gosh.
Appleton?
Appleton's a pretty big area. All right, so we have Appleton, Janesville, La Crosse. Let's go. You want to go Appleton next?
Let's do Appleton.
10.
Appleton, final answer.
9.
It's number 6. I need one
8.
more.
You want to do
7.
Janesville? You want to do La
6.
Crosse? I'm feeling Janesville.
4.
Janesville, final answer.
3, 2, 1.
Was it lacrosse?
Sorry, I couldn't press both buttons at once. That was the signal, the timer. You guys were correct. Janesville is number 10 on the list.
Let's go. Yes, sir. That's another photo finish.
Let's go,
right
baby.
there.
Shout out to you, Ann.
And
Nice.
Oconomowoc is my area. Let's
Holy
go.
crap, fellas. That was good.
My heart is beating.
Janesville is the last city on this list. It is number 10, 66,202. For context, lacrosse just off the list. It's number 12. So you made the right call. The two cities you missed. Number 7 is Eau Claire, 71,000.
out there.
And just ahead of Janesville at number 9, near Appleton, is Oshkosh.
It was Oshkosh. I just wasn't sure how big Oshkosh was.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Beloit like 30,000.
That was a thriller.
I knew we had time, and I knew we didn't want to have any controversy, so I was like, all right, let's get it figured out.
You got 10 guesses in, 8 of them right. Good line.
Deep
good,
in the
good
Wisconsin
game.
geography.
And I figured with Ben not growing up here, this would be a fun Wisconsin boys.
This was a good one. That was a really good one. That was fun.
It was. You know, Wisconsin is such a small. Like, our cities are so small
Yeah.
in comparison to other places.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
what the final one was Janesville and that was
61,000?
66.
66?
Yeah, I mean, there
just
are-
off West Alice is number 11, 60,000.
West Dallas has 60,000 people in it?
Now you know.
Oh my gosh, they don't have 2 high schools. Them things must be busting out the seams. But I mean,
that was a thrill.
How many high schools does Janesville have? Janesville Park or Janesville Craig?
I guess
That's it,
they'll
right?
have 2 as well.
Yeah.
Busting out the seams.
Oshkosh is more than 2. Oshkosh North, Oshkosh West.
We have 2
But they
cities.
only have 2.
Wait, because Green Bay doesn't have 100,000 people yet. It's like
Green Bay
80
does.
something.
Green Bay has
what is
100
it?
105,000.
So
they have 4 public schools and a private school.
So there's only 3 cities in the state of Wisconsin over 100,000 people.
That's true, but Kenosha's really close. Kenosha's 98,000.
Yeah, Kenosha County or city?
City.
Wow. Growing. All right, well, congratulations to Ann there on taking the over-under. Shout out to the Wisconsin boys holding it down. On the other side, we'll continue our conversation talking about Packers, but also keep it locked. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we have Jason Wilde joining us, and we'll confront him right here, so you definitely want to stay locked in for the confrontation we'll have with Jason Wilde. But this is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts.
Yeah, sure. Okay. No drafts. Got it. There's more than one draft?
No, but Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades when you order by April 30th. Our talented designers and installers can match your unique home through dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, product types, and more, along with durable and distinguished details. All Pella products stand the test of time, which is why we confidently offer the best wood warranty in the industry.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 4/30/2025.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is hour 2 of Kyle Brust and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin. 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, and of course, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. There's no Ben Brust today, but we do have the great NFL punter Brad Nortman.
That's right. I'm here.
And Alex Strofe also holding it down for us. So we have been talking about just really evaluating Goody and what the expectations should be for Goody. Where should we set that at for Goody here on Kyle Brust and Nortman? And something that could probably change the way we feel about Goody is if he made a move, right? Because we really only think the Green Bay Packers are maybe 1 or 2 pieces away from being great. And there's a guy that's out there that was a little frustrated. He went on the Pat McAfee show yesterday to vent some of his frustrations, and that's Trey Hendrickson. Now, Brad, with Trey Hendrickson being upset with the Cincinnati Bengals and some things that they said, could Trey Hendrickson solve all the problems and make us all forgive Goody for his lack of being active in the offseason in the way we want him to be?
I mean, it would be the type of move that would be aggressive in the way that other Super Bowl champions have recently been aggressive. And as I look at this, he has gone public now, Trey Hendrickson, with his frustration with the Bengals. Translation, asking price goes down slightly. I don't even think it's the draft compensation that is causing Goody hesitancy. I don't think he wants to pay a 31-year-old defensive end however much he is going to warrant in a, trade and sign situation. But he should do it because the way I think about it, Kyle, is we talked about yesterday about Jair, right? Xavier McKinney, Jair Alexander working out together via Xavier McKinney's Instagram story. And I think to myself, boy, if you can find a way to bring Jair back, Goody, you smooth things over, you massage it out to where that he is satisfied and locked in, even plays half the season. That's fine by me. You got a secondary that's darn near elite. You've got a young, dynamic linebacking core, and you add Trey Hendrickson. I say, Kyle, defense is done. You draft for depth, and you draft for guys that can plug and play, but you're not reaching on D-line. You're not reaching for quarterback. You've got guys in a passing-based offense or offensive league. You got a guy that can rush the passer as good as anybody. I know he's older, but as good as anybody in the NFL. And then you've got a good secondary to defend it. I would look at it and say, man, this defense is ready to be a Super Bowl caliber defense. If you bring in Trey Hendrickson, find a way to bring back Jair. They financially can do it. They have the cap space to do it. Then from there, you add a couple offensive pieces and you are good to go. Then you are firmly in that tier of, hey, Lions, Eagles, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, I don't care. Name the team. I think the Packers are right there. This would be that aggressive move that would do that. But if we know Goody at all, it's just likely not going to happen. Which is so frustrating.
And I'm right there with you, Brad. I think the Green Bay Packers, you're right. If you bring back Jair Alexander, right, the cornerback that we have a hole, we have a gap, right? We added Nate Hobbs, but you bring back Jair Alexander, everybody feels more confident in this defensive backing core, even knowing that Jair's not going to play a full season. But then you tell me you get Trey Hendrickson. The thing about Trey Hendrickson that makes him so appealing is not the fact that he can be a game wrecker himself. It's the fact that he makes everybody else around him that much better. When you can attract all that attention, the Green Bay Packers don't have guys that truly attract a lot of attention. When you get a guy that can attract attention, maybe that makes Lucas Van Ness' job a little bit easier. Rashawn Gary, maybe that makes his job easier. Kenny Clark makes his job easier. Maybe it makes Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker's job easier. This can not only make your team better, but it makes everybody's lives around Trey Hendrickson that much better. And I understand he's a little bit old. He's 31 years old, but same thing as TJ Watt. If you can get TJ Watt, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yes, he has not been as successful as TJ has been year in and year out, but in the last 4 to 5 seasons, he's been in the same conversation with a TJ Watt. And so, yeah, he may only have 3 years left to give you something good. I think it's well worth the Green Bay Packers giving him a lot of guaranteed money and trying to say, hey, we got 3 years for sure for you. Maybe you give him a big contract, you overpay him for the first 2 years, and the last year, if it doesn't work out, maybe you have an out. Or if we have to have a bad player on our roster that we're overpaying for 1 year, but he popped and got us, double-digit sacks in multiple years and made our defense that much better, closer to a championship, that is well worth the investment. So I'm sitting here telling you this right now. Yeah, we're barking at Goody right now, not because we think he's bad, but because we don't believe he's done enough. He is one move away with Trey Hendrickson than changing everything. Everything about this offseason and everything about the expectations for the football season in 2025.
And I'm not even saying that Goody, by all means necessary, at any cost, you go get Trey Hendrickson. I'm not saying that. But I would be disappointed if he didn't even make a phone call, if he didn't even call the Bengals and just say, what are you thinking? Like, what's it going to take? Where is Trey Hendrickson's head at? What's his mindset? Where does he want to go? What's it going to take to move him? Just at least to make a phone call. Kyle, I know how you operate. I know how I operate. If I get a shipment of something that's $25 and I'm not satisfied with it, you know I'm calling. That's how easy it is to pick up the phone. True. That's how easy it is to pick up the phone call.
I sure will.
Goody didn't even pick up the phone for Devontae Adams. So it's not hard to pick up the phone. You don't have to do it, but the Packers should be in these conversations. Goody, pick up the phone, have a conversation. You never know what that conversation is going to lead to, Kyle.
Yeah, we have a conversation that we don't know what's going to lead to, but Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch is going to join us next. And Jason Wilde was throwing shots at us. He called us groupthink, didn't he, Strofe? He said groupthink. Well, you know what, Jason Wilde? This is your chance to say it in our dang face. We have Jason Wilde coming up next. Keep it locked. It is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin. Jason Wilde is coming up next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
The comments were so mean, but they also were kind of funny.
Wait, I didn't see the comments.
They said popcorn back in middle school must have been tough.
Please don't pick me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, looks like we're starting off with a crash on the ramp from Greenfield Avenue to 894 northbound. Heads up with that. Other than that, we've got northbound 43 slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. On westbound 94 slowing down from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on southbound 41, you're starting to slow down just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 37. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, night rain chances with a high of 45 at the lake, 51 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner,
it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired.
And we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
we can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
Unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4-packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Your team, your favorite players, and another chance to chase history. Experience the next level energy at Fiserv Forum as the Milwaukee Bucks make their 9th consecutive postseason appearance. Don't miss a second of the most exciting matchups, epic buzzer beaters, and high-stakes postseason moments. Secure your seats for the Bucks playoffs, presented by BMO. Get in on the action at bucks.com/playoffs. That's bucks.com/playoffs.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
He is a good general manager. Anybody who disputes that, they have other issues.
Holding everybody accountable.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure that was good enough for us to even play on our show.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Well, we do have Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, and I was excited to have him on, and still am excited to have him on. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin, but I'm not going to lie, that kind of hurt, Jason. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
Jason.
good. But we got to address the elephant in the room, Jason. What is this groupthink nonsense that you and Tausch brought up? And also, Tausch is okay, right? Like, I know his feelings were a little hurt. He's okay, right? He's a big guy. He can handle it, right?
Well, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and the more sensitive they are.
Are you calling Tausch sensitive?
Boy, you guys can't help yourself.
Just messing with you, Jason. But no, for real though, I do want to hear about this groupthink thought.
Well, I did think that, and this is, I say this with nothing but love in my heart for all three of you guys. But if we include Strolf, it does feel like you guys and your opinions have now influenced Brad, and Brad has become more and more like you guys.
Oh, wow.
Before, he was more like me, where everything was measured and cautious, and now, he's stirring the pot as much as anybody. And I think when Tausch said what he did about your little group think about how you all think alike, I didn't think that initially, but the more I thought about it, and the more I thought about the metamorphosis that Brad, probably true.
But Jason, usually the KBN maybe has this this image that we just kind of yell at one another and all that kind of stuff. If anything, I think this is growth. We're moving together in the same direction. We're all agreeing. It's very kumbaya here on KBN lately.
Great team bonding, Jason.
No, I'm glad you guys are building your relationship and your brand and your connectivity. That's a great thing. I think that somewhere in the middle of Tausch, I don't want to call him a Goody apologist because then he'll be mad at me, and I got 3 hours with him tomorrow.
I got it, Jason.
He's more forgiving and gives Goody in my opinion, too much credit. You guys are at the other end of the spectrum, and you're, I think, a little more harsh in your critiques than you should be. And why I can say this with some confidence is that I feel like I strike a pretty good balance between praising him and criticizing him. And I get so much negative feedback from people, either telling me that I'm criticizing him too much or that I'm not criticizing him enough, that I'm praising him too much or I'm not praising him enough, that he has really become, dare I say, polarizing among the fan base. And I thought we had some really nuanced takes from our callers today. It's a great topic. I don't dispute that it's a really worthwhile topic. And I would say that there's a lot of people that work in that building that are facing critical years in 2025. The coach, the general manager, the quarterback, some of the wide receivers, some of the offensive linemen. Like, it's a big year for a lot of people, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. I'm not as fascinated as I was by the uncertainty of the 2023 season when I honestly didn't know what they were going to do. But I am still very fascinated to see how 25 plays out, because I feel like 24 played out exactly how I expected it to. Maybe a little less growth from the quarterback and his wide receivers than I expected, but overall, it kind of looked roughly the way I expected. And now I'm not sure if I should expect, a berth in the NFC Championship game or another first-round playoff loss and the temperature on some seats being ratcheted up.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Jason. We just don't know what to expect. But when we're talking about standards, what standards should we be holding Goody to? Because that's really what this conversation is about, is what is that Green Bay standard? What should we be expecting from Goody, and what is the standard of excellence here in Green Bay for a general manager?
Yeah, I mean, look, if we're going to call it Title Town and Matt LaFleur is going to put up a sign in the facility that says standards over feelings, which I'm really the opposite of feelings over standards, then we have to hold them to a high standard. And NFC Championship game berth in 19 and 20, the number one seed, and then punching out in the first game in the divisional round at home in 2021, missing the playoffs in 2022, those are all disappointments. Maybe not 2019, because no one thought in their first year under LaFleur they'd be in an NFC title game. But the rest of that is disappointing. I mean, they had the NFC Championship game at home, and they didn't get it done. And then, obviously, 23 exceeded everyone's expectations, including, if Goody and LaFleur are being honest, theirs as well. And I would say that they went into this season with greater expectations than what they achieved. 1-5 in the division, 0-6 against the teams in the conference with a better record than them, losing in the first round in the playoffs. And I think that's what prompted Goody's response to me with the urgency quote. And, that's been my biggest criticism. That's why I fall in between you and the big fella, is that my issue with him is, I think he's been a good to very good GM. I said, B+-ish for my grade. But unless you win a championship, you're not an A. You don't get an A. And my critique of him is, if you're going to come out and publicly, in response to my final question of the presser in January, say that the team and the players need to ratchet up their intensity and their urgency, and say that this team is ready to compete for championships. Now, I think it's important to make sure that you're pointing the finger back at you too and saying, I need to do better. I need to be more on top of my game. I have to have that urgency, and it's a different type of urgency than what the players have to have. But we all have to do a better job, and that includes me. And he didn't say that. He basically, his message was, we have the guys that we need, and he kind of repeated it multiple times now about the defensive line, about the wide receivers. We have the guys we need. Which loosely translated is, I put together a championship team. These guys now have to play like champions. And that is something that feels a little bit, I would rather hear someone say, I haven't been perfect putting together this team. I need to do more. We all need to do more. We all have to feel that we have to do everything we can, because it's time. They don't call this, 11-6 town. They call it Title Town.
Yes, sir.
And it's been 15 years since we've been to a Super Bowl, and it's time. And I, as the general manager, am as responsible for that as Matt LaFleur is as the coach, and as our players are, and as Jordan Love is as the quarterback.
Yeah, Jason, that's well said. And that's where a lot of the basis of our argument and the way we perceive all the moves this year are, is that Goody, in my opinion, basically invited us to hold him accountable, saying championship window is open, need to have a sense of urgency, and all you players, it's time that you take that step forward, because I have the same sentiment as you. Basically, I think Goody thinks he's done everything he needs to do to build a championship team. And as Strofe beautifully put together in your opening, and you just said now in Kyle's answer, and I fully agree with you in this, by the way. I think the whole show is, Goody is a good to very good general manager. B+. I think that's very well said. I totally agree with you. In your opinion, what does he need to do to be that A general manager, to be a great general manager? Is it just, hey, these guys need to be and reach their potential to what he thinks they are? Or do you think that, you know what, Goody, to be a general manager, you got to make a little bit more moves. You got to go outside your comfort zone a little bit. Veterans, trades, things like that. What is it to you for Goody to be a great general manager?
Yeah, I think one of the things, and this is my own personal pet peeve with him, is I think you have to be more open about guys that are over the age of 30. I'm not saying you need 10 guys that age, but I think, you look at what Julius Peppers did for the Packers when they signed him in 14. They didn't win a Super Bowl, and they wanted to win one for Julius, but they went to an NFC Championship game in 14 that they never should have lost. Then they went to another NFC Championship game in 16, which frankly they had no business going to, but their quarterback willed them there. Again, it can't just be about Devontae Adams, but he epitomizes kind of what I view as the kind of move that would have eliminated anybody's ability to be harsh in their critique of Goody from this offseason, because he would have filled a need on the offensive line, he would have filled a need at corner, and he would have brought in a guy that still has plenty of tread on his tires to be his temporary number one wide receiver until someone else grows into that role, and he's still worth keeping on the roster even after someone grows into that role and surpasses him. I would also say that if we're going to throw him bouquets for signing Josh Jacobs or for signing Xavier McKinney, I think it's important to also acknowledge that those signings are in part the result of missing on critical draft picks. Aaron Banks is too,
Good
right?
Good point, Jason.
Like the signing of Xavier McKinney is because he was wrong on Darnell Savage.
Yep.
The signing of Aaron Banks is because he was wrong on Josh Myers, and they had to move, Elton Jenkins from the left guard spot to center. The signing of Josh Jacobs is in part because you spent a second-round pick in 2020 on who you thought was going to be your next featured back, and A.J. Dillon never even came close to that, even when he was healthy. He's great. He's a great locker room guy. He loves the community. He's everything, in that realm, but he wasn't a good enough player, even before he got hurt. And they even tried to get rid of Aaron Jones in favor of him one year, and he didn't take advantage of that opportunity. And so that's why you have to go out and pay for Josh Jacobs, right? I mean, you missed on Eric Stokes. That's why you have to pay Nate Hobbs. So, and look, let's be clear. Every GM does that. Every GM has misses.
Yeah.
Goody's not the first one, but and he deserves credit for fixing his mistakes. At the same time, though, if we're talking about an A GM, then you have to have fewer misses than that. You have to have more, this idea that they don't re-sign guys and the league has changed. There's merit to that. But having Jordan Love, who, again, I do think we prematurely crowned, and if he plays great this year, then we can revise that again and say, you know what? We were early on saying that he's a top-flight franchise quarterback, and we were early to say that, but now he is. So if that happens, great. But to have him and Isaiah McDuffie as the only two remaining players from the 2020 and 2021 drafts, I can't give someone an A grade if that's what those drafts look like.
Jason, I must say this. You know what? This is sounding like groupthink to me, and you just elevated the group project.
That was
That
was great, Jason.
It's just so great. We're talking with Jason Wilde from Wilde and Goody Apologist. I mean, Wilde and Taos. You can hear 9 to noon right here on ESPN Wisconsin. But Jason, really, the last question I have for you here is about Jair Alexander. I don't know if you saw the video of Xavier McKinney and Jair working out. Jair looked really excited. Is there any chance that Jair Alexander will be back on this football team next fall?
Sure, there's a chance. I don't think it's a large chance, maybe 10% chance. I mean, look, he might have just been excited because he loves Xavier McKinney. I mean, those guys are buds. That doesn't mean that they're going to get to play together this season. And it doesn't matter, as we learned with Josh Jacobs saying they need a number one wide receiver, Goody's not going to be interested if Xavier McKinney comes to him and says, hey,
whose choice
we
is
need to keep Ja.
Whose choice is it to keep Ja? Like, if Ja said, hey, I want to play, will the Packers say no?
Yeah, I think it's Brian Gutekunst's choice. Like, Jair can come back and say, hey, it'll be different this year. I'll do more to stay healthy, all the other stuff. And I think Goody could still say, no, I've seen this movie twice now. I'm not going a third time. So again, as I keep telling people, I talked to somebody that works in the building, and they said, look, this guy is still an elite player. And my response to that person was, when he plays, which is an important caveat. So, I wouldn't rule it out entirely, but again, I've never heard a general manager in my time covering the team talk about a player the way Goody did at the NFL meetings when he said, if he's not going to be on our roster helping us win football games, we've made a big investment in him and we'd like to get something in return. I mean, he basically said, unless you want to interpret that differently, to me that sounded like a guy saying, hey man, we don't want to just cut him. We want to trade him, and we're going to hold on to him hoping we can trade him. But it did not sound like a guy, his answer about the idea of keeping him around, that could possibly be absolutely. That's a word salad to me that indicates he doesn't really plan on keeping him around.
That was a great segment.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Goodness gracious,
thing.
That was outstanding.
Well, I feel like I elevated the group thing, which
did.
was clearly necessary.
You took us from a B+ to an A, and you replaced
Just
Ben.
like
we got rid of our worst guy in our group and brought in like this star group member. It's great.
Yeah, it's like Xavier McKinney replacing Darnell Savage.
Yeah,
Just
Ben
like
is the
that.
Darnell Savage of KBN. Thank you so much, Jason.
And now we're going to have beef tomorrow. I'm going to have beef with Ben. Sydney's
Ben's
been
out.
explaining to me all the cool words kids use. So this is beef, right? It's a little sus.
Hey, but you know what, Jason? They're not like us. Just know that.
Powerful.
I give this an A-. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason, that Wilde, he was hot today. That was Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch. He's joining the group thing. He sounded free. It sounded like guy who was actually free to express himself, and he couldn't really express the way he wanted because his buddy, Mark Tauscher, was a little sensitive, so he didn't want to keep digging on him, so he had to join him. But sounds like he's part of the group thing to me.
Yeah, it sounds like he was being held down by Tausch this whole time, could finally let his true feelings out. But I'll tell you what, Wilde and Tausch, their true feelings about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is the same way that I feel about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We love everything they put out, and not to mention, right now, the deal through April 30th, listen to this, there's no interest financing options or free glass upgrades. That's right. You're able to get the glass you want, get the windows you like, and be able to have a free upgrade or take advantage of no interest financing, whatever fits your budget and your needs the best. It's just another way that Pella is leaning in to be able to make your home, improve the quality of it, improve it, make it better, make seamless customizations. Because whatever it is, whether it be style or color or era or the craftsmanship, Pella, they manufacture all the products themselves. So they can match whatever it is you need at whatever project budget you are looking for. Those doors, those windows, they got to get replaced, and replace them with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com or 555-PELLA-WI with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Is Green Bay going Hollywood? Is a Hard Knocks life coming to Green Bay? Well, seems like it. We'll talk about that coming up next here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Do you wash your shins in the shower? We shower from hair to kneecap. The rest can drip down our legs to our feet.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it does work that way.
What does the poll say?
34% don't wash their shins.
That is shockingly low. KBN Nation, you're better than that.
Yeah, it sounds like we have a lot of disgusting human beings on this planet.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we got eastbound 94, just a little bit backed up right in the stadium interchange. Not too bad. 41 southbound is backed up from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. We do still have this accident on the ramp from Greenfield Avenue to northbound 894. Westbound 94 is backed up out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. And then on northbound 43, a little bit backed up from before Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keith. And checking the GMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 37. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. You might have some chances of rain later in the evening, a high of 45 at the lake, 51 inland. Summer's around the corner. Get ready for boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on serene Delavan Lake. Make the most of the season at Lake Lawn Resort. Book your adventure today at lakelawnresort.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lodge on 94.5 ESPN.
At
Citizens Bank, community banking is you. Growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you. Buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you. Building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You what the contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Picture it. Beautiful plants, freshly mowed lawn, crisply edged flower beds, and your grilling dinner out on an incredible back patio. Landworks Wisconsin is ready to plan your green space. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all your landscaping needs. Their team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Did you know that Wisconsin has a new, quick, and free online tax filing tool called IRS Direct File? Direct File is changing how people file their taxes and bringing more money into our state through the federal Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. File your federal and state taxes online directly with the IRS from your smartphone or computer. On average, file in less than 1 hour. Available in English and Spanish. Visit directfile.irs.gov to see if you're eligible. Sponsored by United Way of Wisconsin.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockerontheLake.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It is such a hard knocks life. It is such a hard knocks life for us Green Bay Packers fans, I tell you. 15 years, a decade and a half of championship-less football.
It's a long time. When you really stop and think about that, it's a long, long time.
I was a young man back in the day.
You all right over there?
The food threw me off.
What are you eating?
I'm eating a protein. I'm Brad.
He's on the Brad. You know, I eat a protein. KBN Nation, I eat a protein bar every day at 3:30, right through halfway point through the show.
Yep.
Just it gives me the satisfaction I need. And Kyle, he has since, the last couple of weeks, been doing the same exact thing.
I have.
How's it been treating your body and mind?
I've been good. I messed up yesterday, and I did some bad stuff for my tummy, but I messed up. But it's okay, KBN Nation, because you are listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. We've been talking about Goody. But also there was some other news that came out is that Hard Knocks, the HBO series that typically follows a team in the NFL training camp. Now they have in-season football as well. They changed the rules and the criteria for what it means for you to actually be selected. Before, there was criteria such as if your team made the playoffs, you're exempt from it. If you had a head coaching change, you're exempt from it. So the Green Bay Packers have not missed the playoffs in back-to-back years in a long time, so they have not ever met the criteria to be a new team on Hard Knocks. But that has changed, and that has some people excited to see the Packers on Hard Knocks. Now, for you, Brad Nortman, would you be excited to see the Green Bay Packers on the big screen of HBO?
Oh, Kyle, I would love to see the Green Bay Packers on Hard Knocks. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, like, well, I don't want cameras around during training camp, and maybe if I'm thinking about being a player, maybe that would be a little bit of a distraction. But I can't get enough of Green Bay Packers. And you know what else I want a little bit of? I want a little bit of, like, drama's too strong of a word, but I want a little stirring of the pot in Green Bay.
Oh, no.
Because it's too quiet. It's too vanilla. I want a little bit of action. I want a little bit of excitement there in Green Bay. And honestly, too, these are a lot of young players. They're going to need to get used to being in the spotlight, being examined, and being, micro-analyzed. And Hard Knocks would do that. So put Jordan Love on a showcase. Put these receivers on a showcase. Put a microphone in front of Tucker Kraft. I would love it. I think it'd be fascinating. And I would watch every single second of it in KBN Nation. I know you'd be watching it right alongside of me.
No, absolutely not. I have no interest in this football team being on Hard Knocks. You know what I hate? I hate when people come up with a criteria of what it means to be on the show, and just because certain teams are.
Wait a minute. In what scenario do you hate criteria?
What? No. Okay. So listen here. I like when people make
90 Day Fiance have a criteria?
You got to be crazy. And so the thing is when they have, hey, these are the guidelines. If your team excels at this level, then you can never get selected. And now, because they can't select certain teams, they got to change the rules so more teams could be included. Now you have an in-season Hard Knocks. Now you have a divisional Hard Knocks. They do things to rig the system where the Green Bay Packers have earned the right to say, no, we do not want cameras around. But since the Green Bay Packers are so good and other organizations are so good as well, now HBO and the NFL said, well, we're going to change up what it means for you to have to be on Hard Knocks, and have opened up the floodgates to my Green Bay Packers now having to be exposed to this nonsense. I have no interest in having cameras there. I know Green Bay has no interest in having cameras there. And if they did, I hope it's a boring season, and I hope Matt LaFleur says, do the minimum when the cameras are around.
Kyle, you scared of the spotlight?
I think he's scared of the spotlight, bro.
No, he's scared of the spotlight.
Scared of the spotlight.
Like you said, what did you say earlier? The Packers are a conservative organization. I want them to be conservative. I want them to be quiet, and I want them to focus on football. I don't need cameras in their face all the time trying to create some type of drama. Nah. We keep our drama quiet and we suppress it so nobody knows about it. That's why that whole Romeo Dobbs thing was so entertaining and drama, because we're like, well, what's happening? What's going on? Because we don't get a lot of that here in Green Bay unless our quarterback's talking crazy.
Bro, if this coming from a guy that loves 90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance can't lose football games.
You love dramatic, entertaining television. Kyle, sign me up. I got a pen right here. Sign me up, baby. I'm all in for the Packers on Hard Knocks. Think about Matt LaFleur coaching. Think about Goody cutting guys. Think about Jordan Love and his interactions in the quarterback room. Think about weirdo Romeo Dobbs in the wide receiver room, right? Like, we don't really know what his personality is. It's going to be front and center for everybody to see. I am infatuated with the idea of the Packers on Hard Knocks. You get an inside look at one of the most stable organizations in professional sports for over the last, 3 decades plus. This is a series that has been going on since 2001. That's 24 years ago. Jordan Love was in diapers when this series started. The idea to see Jordan Love and Tucker Kraft and the offense and Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley and the hard-nosed defense on television every week as we get ready for the real football season, because this is a training camp and preseason version of the show. There is no better way to warm up for the football season. You can watch as much preseason football as you want. You can go to as many training camp practices you want. You're getting more access with Hard Knocks. I love the idea of this.
And I actually will double down and say I think this would be good for the Green Bay Packers organization. The organization, like you said, they are conservative. They don't say much. They keep everything so tight to the vest, and they don't let anybody in. I think it'd be good. For the world to infiltrate that a little bit, loosen them up a little bit. Maybe it'll it'll spill over to free agency and Goody taking some stabs finally.
I don't want an inside look on how they bake this beautiful cake that I'll call the Green Bay Packers. I don't want any of that. I don't want to rock the boat. I just want us to be straight. I want us to be forward, and I want us to do what we do. Only change I want is change coming from Goody to actually make a splash like he did last year to find some contributors that can help this team instantly. So bumps all that. Stay away from Green Bay HBO. Matter of fact, if they come, you know what? Folks out in Green Bay, Brown County, if HBO comes, build a wall. Put a fence around them so they can't get in. I don't want them anywhere near my team.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that. But you know where I want you all around? I want you all to have a chance to win our Fantasy Focus giveaway. Strofe, what can they win?
Yeah, in the 06010. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to the podcast. That's the intro.
Oh, that's good.
I assumed.
Fantasy Focus. Great theme song. ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Podcast. Coming to Green Bay the Wednesday before the draft, April 23rd. That's Field Yates, Daniel Dopp, Mike Clay, Liz Loza, and Stefania Bell doing a live show at our Tundra Trio houses just outside of Lambeau. ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. That's Wednesday night, April 23rd. Right now, caller 10 will win 2 tickets to see ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football live at the Tundra Trio. You can see the show up close and personal, meet all the hosts, get complimentary food and drinks, and Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch. That's caller 10 right now to our Carbless Tuck and text line, 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. Caller 10 right now. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details.
And coming up next, we all use the bathroom, but some of us are very odd. We're going to talk about Strofe and his urinal behavior coming up because y'all just got to hear it. We got to get after Strofe. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin, and you definitely want to hear this story about Strofe and being obnoxious while at a urinal.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
These hands are not made for fixing anything in the house. I'll make a phone call, and I'm cheap, but I ain't that cheap. I got my guys. Got my handyman. Shout out to Chris. Under the table.
Just like that, dude's getting audited now.
Yeah.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
New York Knicks. For the Kevin Durant move, it makes sense. That's a team that's ready to win now. They made win now moves this past offseason, and it feels like they would have the requisite pieces that Phoenix would be interested in a trade. So for KD, you would be looking at Mikal Bridges. You would be looking at Mitchell Robinson, maybe a package including Deuce McBride as well. Something like that makes sense in terms of the Knicks' overall roster composition. If you got Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, you know, you feel pretty, and Kevin Durant in that mix, you feel pretty good about going to battle with those guys. You feel pretty good about being the next team up when Boston inevitably takes a step back because they can't keep that team together with the tax. So, yeah, I think out of all of the possible teams that would be interested in those players, I think Kevin Durant to the New York Knicks makes the most sense.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're over my head, I'm out of my mind, thinking I was born in the wrong time, one of a kind, living in a world gone plastic, baby you're so classic.
It is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin. That's 1430 ESPN Beat the Damn. Shout out to y'all in the B. That's 100.5 ESPN Madison. Shout out to y'all in Dane County. And, of course, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to the Wild County. Shout out to Racine, Kenosha, and everywhere that is listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. No Ben Brust today. I'm Kyle Walls. He's Brad Nortman. And he's Alex Strofe. And so, Strofe, I heard a story about you at a urinal. Brad, it sounded like, was Strofe peeking at people while they were at the urinal? What is this story about Strofe being obnoxious and a little peek?
Okay, you've got the story all wrong, apparently.
You want to play peekaboo?
No.
Oh, what were you doing, man?
He was peeking at his phone.
I was looking at my phone.
That's the peek they were talking about.
I was watching a video that I happened to be tagged in on Twitter while at the urinal, and I was not the only person in the bathroom. So the conversation evolved into, is it disrespectful or rude to use your phone with volume in a public restroom?
I would say it is. I would for sure mute it or wait until I'm in an area where there's not other people relieving themselves here in the video. I myself, I got to get nice and comfortable. I got to get nice and stress-free.
So you don't do well in public restrooms?
I don't love public restrooms.
That makes sense.
I'm nervous peer, some might classify that.
Goodness. Stage fright.
Yeah, stage fright. But I've gotten better, which I'm proud of. But yeah, I like a nice calm.
Better. You've done it your whole life. You've been going to school since you're 4.
Well, yeah.
You're 35 years old.
I mean, it's like the evolution has benefited me to where I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty good to go now. But there was a time where I'm like, I don't need noise. I don't need people. I don't need movement. I just got to relax. And all you people are stressing me out.
Yeah, see, I'm a weird individual. Yeah, some people call me a flip-flopper. I've used speakerphone on my phone in public because my phone didn't work. It didn't work. And I see it's obnoxious, but I try to reduce how much I do it. But the funny thing is, when we were at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, some dude was walking around with his phone on speaker and having a full-blown conversation. I can hear it. And I said, bro, what are you doing? So, Strofe, be better. You shouldn't do that. You got to pick and choose when you're going to be obnoxious in public, and that is definitely not the time to be obnoxious.
Are you going to be better? Are you no longer going to have speakerphone conversations?
I do not. I don't do it anymore. My phone is fixed, so I don't do it anymore. Now, depending on how many people are in the bathroom, I may watch a video, but usually if I'm at AmFam Field, I'm not watching that video.
Okay. I think that's fair. I'm not watching it either. Strofe, be better.
Strofe, be better. But also thank you to Beaver Dam for chiming in and watching today. You have the best damn sports show in Beaver Dam. That's what I'm going to call it. Coming up next with Cody and Wally. And then also you have Jim.
His name is Corey.
Corey and Wally. I'm sorry, Corey. Corey Sparks. Corey Sparks.
This guy's worked here for 2 years.
Corey
Still don't know his
Sparks.
damn name?
I'm sorry, Corey Sparks. And then also,
it'll only be the best damn sports show if you know the name of the damn house.
I'm so sorry, Corey. But then also, Jim Madden coming on ESPN Madison. We'll have more of KBN coming up here on ESPN Milwaukee.
Oh, you know their names, huh?
Barely.
Everything's gonna be alright.
Southbound 41, we are still seeing delays from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive, so heads up with that. We've got northbound on 43 backing up right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. We've got some delays all the way up to about Keefe. The southbound side has a crash at Fond du Lac Avenue off on the right shoulder, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Westbound 94 backing up 13th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's just going to be slow right past 68th Street to Holly Road, and then again through the stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by the Knickerbocker on the Lake. Escape to the Knickerbocker on the Lake. Enjoy stunning lake views, luxurious rooms, and exceptional dining. Experience timeless charm and modern luxury in the heart of Milwaukee. Book your stay at knickerbockerontheLake.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Peak forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 37. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Some chance for rain later on in the evening. A high of 45 at the lake, 51 inland. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
It's what you wait for all week. The three-pointers, the rebounds, the thrill of every shot. Win or lose, it's the hope that keeps you coming back. The dream that this time, it might be your year. And so you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when the pressure's on, your support is everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys.
It's the Faux 1 Hour at Faux on KBN.
That was actually good.
I've got the rhythm down. I might
look at Stroh's face. Stroh doesn't like it.
The energy was low.
Really?
Remember, like last time Benny was out for an extended period of time, we told you have to pretend you're kicking a punt first.
Yes, yes.
And it didn't feel like you were like amped up.
It was just a run of the mill, open yard.
It felt like you were too focused on the form and not the energy.
Oh, I didn't have like the flow, like the.
But you had some swag to it, though.
I did. Did I
it's
have
the
swag?
faux. I mean, you did it your way. But,
Yeah.
But it was. I thought it had some swag to it. I feel like Stroh is just being a hater.
Okay. Well, tomorrow I can put the finishing touches on it because Ben will be out again, and we'll maybe, luckily, have Tori Lowe as an audience too. Maybe we can all judge me and see if I improve from day one to day two.
You're actually better than Tori Lowe.
Yeah, Tori Lowe.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Tori. He has such a fascinating cadence to his forward four. He has the Tori Lowe cadence. It's the Faux 1 Hour at Faux.
Yeah, Tori's trying to be way too professional. See,
What's
Tori,
happening then?
Yeah, see, he need to come in with that Tori Lowe. He should say it's a Faux 1 Hour at Faux. Like he should be Tori Lowe.
Yeah,
but I know Stroh wants to do it so badly. Yeah, yes, you do, Stroh.
You want to do it tomorrow, Stroh?
No, you got it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Look,
I never pretend to be something I'm not.
What are you saying? What are you saying that I'm doing?
No, you've got swag. I just said I'm not. It had nothing to do with you.
Who's
Stop being so defensive.
Who's got more swag, Kyle? Me or Strofe? Be honest.
Good question.
When we say swag, what are we talking about here? Are we talking like
that's
swag
open
can mean
to your interpretation.
Yeah, as a guy with swag, who has more swag between me and
first
Strofe?
and foremost,
I won't be offended. I just want to know.
I'm very self-aware. First and foremost, the biggest problem is that you both are asking me about swag. I mean, yeah, do I have swag? Yes, the girl did call me Mr. Swagger back in the day. I got some swag.
I forgot about that.
Cool. Yeah, but I mean, in comparison to other swaggy people, I mean, I'm not high on the swag. I mean, to y'all, I'm swaggy, but like to some real cats with
Can
some
we go
swagger.
back to something real quick?
Yes, sir.
The Mr. Swagger time in your life?
Yes.
This was a woman you were dating?
No, it was a
you
woman.
were seeing?
Yeah, if you want to say that, I don't know. It was just
you
one of them.
spent a few evenings with.
Yeah,
He was just one of them.
Yeah.
This was in his player days.
It was a player days. I was a young man. What can I say? And no, we worked at the same place together. We did. Shout out.
She was older than you, right?
Actually, by like a year. Not by much.
What prompted the nickname? Something must have happened where she's
She
like,
was
you know
hitting
what?
on me.
That's Mr. Swagger.
Well, so what I did was
Okay, Mr. Swagger.
so shout out to MPS, shout out to Riverside University High School. I used to walk kids from Oliver Wendell Homeschool to MPS, right? Middle school kids. Great time doing that. And she worked in the rec program at MPS. And, she saw me for like basically it was for the whole summer. And finally, I guess she was like, you know what? I want to talk to this guy. And one day she said, hey, Mr. Swagger. I said, who you talking? I said, I know. Is that cutie over there talking to me? I'm at work. When I'm at work, I'm locked in and focused. I'm not trying to hit on nobody. I'm trying to make sure the kid's having a good time. And she called me Mr. Swagger. And yeah, I do love the kid. But one thing, I love baby girl. But before baby girl, I love women too. And so that before baby girl. Not just love baby girl. But she called me Mr. Swagger. And I said, oh. Okay, and then she wanted to, talk to me. She said, text me Swagger, and I knew what time it was. I said, got her.
So this woman is not the same one that you brought home to mom and pa, and they were like, no? Or was this her?
I've never brought home a woman to mom and pa. I said, no, I don't bring women home to mom and pa. I may have. Did I? I don't think I told that story on air.
No, you did.
Oh, I told the story on air where my mom wanted to say hello, and I said, don't worry about that.
Yeah, you told that story on air.
Boy, I was a jerk.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I still remember that one. Yeah, no, this was not that one.
One of a kind.
This is not that one.
So you're saying simply by the way you walked with children, she detected your swag.
She saw me walking around. I mean,
detected.
She saw me walking around the building, and just there's a swagger I guess I walk with. Now I walk really fast 'cause I got to get from point A to point B. But she saw something in my walk. That was a way to hit on me.
You do walk like McCole Hardman.
Is that good?
Is that a
I don't
compliment?
know.
Yeah, with speed.
Oh yes, yes.
You're a speedster.
Yeah, I usually
with intent.
Yes, I walk with intent. Sometimes I need to slow down and calm down, but I mean, hey, I have a job to do. But yeah, shout out to her. She's Puerto Rican. She was fantastic. Fantastic.
So who has more swagger, me or Strofe?
Oh yes.
After all that.
You got to talk about me. I can tell y'all some stories. Well, okay, business swagger. It's gotta be you, Brad. Like Brad has the business swagger, the day-to-day swagger, the professionalism.
Swagger.
Yeah, like when I'm going to a professional meeting, I want you to come. If we're gonna talk to our great partners, I want you to come. I know Bradley Nortman has that business swag where he walks in the room, everybody is looking at him because he grabs your attention.
Oh wow.
You have business swagger. Now, when I'm talking about going out.
Street swagger,
as in, I mean, his swagger's so weird, right? Like, if Strofe came to a party, he came to the cookout with me, like, I know Strofe would be good because he has a goofy swagger about him. Like, oh, yeah, he goofy, he cool. Like, he cool, goofy. So he got this thing about him.
I'm not taking these as compliments.
No, it's a
goofy swagger.
Not only did he call my swagger goofy, he also said, yeah, when it comes to business, he's useless.
No, I mean, come on now. Let's be honest. Now, Brad, you've known Alex for a while now.
Oh, yeah. We go way back.
He's fantastic. I mean, he's really good at what he does. But if you had to choose between myself, Ben, or Strofe, who you would leave out of going to a business meeting, who would you leave out?
Oh, wow.
Kyle, I got bad news. I don't think you're going to like this answer.
No, I think I'd probably leave out Strofe, but not because of like goofiness or lack of professionalism. I've seen Ben in meetings. KBN Nation might be surprised Ben turns it on in meetings. It's pretty impressive. And
Until
Kyle,
he tells people he's not inviting them to a wedding.
Exactly.
Awkward.
You have a level of directed professionalism. Like when it's those moments, like, dude, you can be locked in. Strofe would be the guy that I would have. Here's what I would do. If we had a business partner come in, I would have Ben and Kyle and me at the table, but I would have Strofe go greet them at the door.
Yeah, see?
He would go meet them down
The
wherever they
goofball.
are.
So I'm your butler?
No, you're the goofball. You're like you work at Walmart. You're a greeter.
You're gonna loosen them up a little bit. You're gonna keep it casual. They're gonna smile. They're gonna be a sense of warmth around Strofe.
Yeah, and then when we're done with you, okay, now go back to the door. Go back to the front now.
So for the second time this segment, I'm going to say I'm not taking that as a compliment.
At least he
That's
invited
a gift, though.
you.
You can connect with people. People feel comfortable around you. That's a gift.
Yeah, but you don't want me at the table, huh?
But I had to leave somebody out. But I'm providing a role for you.
No, that's not a good alternative. You just said, hey, go give them a sticker and say, welcome to Good Karma Brands.
I mean, I think it fits you perfectly, man. You're a culture guy, right? You're a positive culture guy. If I need uplifting, I go to you. I'm not asking you to go to this big partner meeting. I mean, it's just not you. That's okay, though, right? Like, only thing you've done in your life is worked in radio, right? You got to be yourself. You didn't have to worry about being this buttoned up, tight, in the behind professional. No, like me and Brad had to do that. Ben has to do. You've never had to experience having to go into these rooms and talk to people about investing money. I had to talk to kids about investing money at Marquette. You had to talk to people about investing their money at Bear.
I had to talk to people about investing money in snapback hats when I worked at Lids.
What's the most?
Oh yeah, that's $12.
What's the most serious business meeting you've ever been a part of?
I think we're at a point where I'd rather not do this on air. But I mean, like, some very serious ones. I was running a 50,000 watt radio station when the pandemic came.
Okay.
So I was at a table
with 50,000 watt. What does that mean?
Where is it
at? Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Where was it called?
WWSP are the call letters.
Is that a college radio station?
Yeah, it was a college radio station.
I just want to make sure we understand. He was running a college radio station that also had professors that also made sure, and like a whole institution that funded it and made sure everything was okay. So the station he was running wasn't going to die if he didn't do anything. But carry on.
Incorrect, but that's good.
Okay.
Incorrect, but that's good.
And I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's the biggest one I've ever been on. I'd have to think about that. This is an awkward conversation.
I mean, I just curious about it. 800-990-3776. I guess we just killed Strofe's spirit.
I feel good about my swagger.
No, yeah, you should. You know yourself. You know,
I went in with very little expectations of any swagger compliments.
Yeah, Strofe just doesn't know thyself, and that's the problem.
But Strofe's biggest quality in life that he seeks is self-awareness. So how do you rationalize those two?
Self-awareness.
Right? You said that. Self-awareness.
100%. Thanks for listening.
So do you think you have swagger?
Depends on the type of swagger we're discussing.
And that's what I said. You have a great goofy swagger. It's good.
Yeah,
it
but
works.
that's not
Goofy's
that's not a compliment.
Goofy's
tough. No, okay.
The silliest cartoon character on the planet's name is Goofy. I'm Goofy. Like, what are we doing here?
It's a pretty good impression of Alex Strofe there.
Cartoon character.
But we love. I mean, you have swagger. You have, like I said, you can come to the cookout anytime. I feel like
it's a pity invite, right?
No,
I do believe. How about this? Something Strofe can do that I'm not sure Ben nor you, Kyle, could do. I could drop Strofe into any social setting, and I think he'd thrive. Any social setting.
I agree. That's
any social setting.
Strofe, you can come anywhere with me because I know you will be okay.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's a good thing, man. That is a really good thing. So I think you should be very proud.
Why are you talking to me like I'm a child?
No, I'm not.
That's really good, buddy. That's a really good thing, pal.
Strofe, I like you. I really do.
What is he doing right now, Brad? What is this
It
segment?
feels disingenuous.
It's completely disingenuous.
Strofe,
I like you.
I tell you all the time how much
I don't need you to tell me you like me.
No, every word it gets worse, Kyle.
I'm just saying.
There's something about that chair where the dumb idiots that sit in it don't know how to put down the damn shovel. Just put the shovel down. I know you like me.
Okay, buddy. I
hate you.
Oh, he buddied you. You buddied him. Just like that. Couldn't get any worse.
All right, 3-tree, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about wanting to brand yourself correctly and make sure that everyone else knows who you are, which is kind of what we're talking about, then you need to go with our pals at 3-Tree Marketing. 3 Tree Marketing is a full-service branded merchandising agency that's going to be able to take your logo, your insignia, your brand, your story, and mission, and they're going to be able to put it in an expression that business partners or teammates or anyone else in creative gifting that they can experience. I know whenever we use 3 Tree Marketing and we put Good Karma Brands or ESPN Milwaukee on anything that you can touch, feel, experience, and or interact with, 3 Tree Marketing always knocks it out of the park. This is your opportunity to be a part of an amazing opportunity to showcase what your brand is all about, because they think outside the box and they become an extension of your team. See what else 3 Tree Marketing can do for your team and set an appointment today at 3treemarketing.com.
More coming up here on Kyle, Brust, and Norman, because you know what? Alex Strofe probably feels very irrelevant right now. Maybe you should become relevant coming up next, Strofe.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I said, baby, we got to do more sucking. And so I called the company. I said, listen, y'all put this thing in here. Y'all need to come on.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound 41, we are still seeing delays from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive, so heads up with that. We've got northbound on 43 backing up right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. We've got some delays all the way up to about Keefe. The southbound side has a crash at Fond du Lac Avenue off on the right shoulder, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Westbound 94 backing up 13th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's just going to be slow right past 68th Street to Holly Road, and then again through the stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by the Knickerbocker on the Lake. Escape to the Knickerbocker on the Lake. Enjoy stunning lake views, luxurious rooms, and exceptional dining. Experience timeless charm and modern luxury in the heart of Milwaukee. Book your stay at knickerbockeronthelake.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 37. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Some chance for rain later on in the evening. A high of 45 at the lake, 51 inland. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-522-2174. 800-522-2174. 800-522-2174.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, you know I'm driving with that swag, KBN Nation, and that's all thanks to Tsunami Express Car Wash. My car, it's reflective, it's beautiful, especially as spring is right around the corner. It is no better time to get rid of that winter grime and salt and refresh your car with Tsunami Express Car Wash. I myself, I'm a ceramic member, and you can be too. They have monthly memberships where you can have unlimited car wash. You can go today, tomorrow, the next day, as much as you possibly want, and you're going to want to keep on coming back, because they got state-of-the-art wash technology to give a long-lasting shine and protection, free vacuums, matte washers, do-it-yourself detailing supplies, free tire air. There's so many things that the Tsunami Express experience gives you. You're going to want to keep coming back for more. There's convenient locations all around greater Milwaukee, so there's plenty of options to choose from. I find myself at the Waukesha location, so if you ever see me there, say hello. Enjoy everything Tsunami Express has for you and your car as you wash, chill, repeat the Tsunami Express Car Wash.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Alex Strofe, dramatic Alex Strofe. He's so dramatic. You know, he just said in my ear, he said, you walk on our last commercial every day. Not every week, maybe realistic. Every day is extreme. Every week,
Kyle,
every day.
We talked about how you're kind of in a rush. You're like McCole Hardman walking around this place.
Didn't we also just talk about self-awareness?
Self-awareness.
Every day.
And Kyle, it is crazy that you will be talking. You'll spring up out of your chair and you'll shoot out the door.
15 seconds left in the commercial break.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Did we talk for that long during the commercial break?
Yeah.
There was a 15-second commercial left, and it had started, and he walked out of the studio. I said, what is this?
Why didn't you yell?
I did, but you were already
You're
gone.
fairly fast out of the chair. You spring up out of it.
I appreciate that. No, I was looking for Tori Lowe. I haven't seen usually. So I like to talk to Tori every day. He was dressed very well today, but today Tori, it's diabolical. Is right. Tori was usually we exchange when I leave my show on Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth, and he's coming in for the Tori Lowe show 1 to 4. But I didn't see him today, and usually in between breaks I go say what up, brother, and I say hello. I didn't see Tori today, so I feel like I'm missing something.
Did you see him in the break? So you left him to go see another host.
Yes.
And in turn, he once again promoted his other show on this show, which he never does the inverse of.
That's not true. You clearly don't listen to the inverse show.
No, I do. I don't know if that was a sentence. I also saw your notepads today. You had about, 4 times the amount of notes for the other show than you do this one.
First and foremost, you did not see my notepad for today's. If you saw it, you didn't see today's notes. It was closed.
Oh, trying to hide something?
But I will say I did have a full page of notes. Today I had about a little over half for this show today. And then I text something and then...
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All right. Are you jealous?
No, I want to talk about KBN. I want to talk about the show we're doing for the fans that are here, a.k.a. KBN Nation.
You are right. KBN Nation absolutely love you. But you know what? Since he's doing all this blabbering and talking, he's kind of itching because he didn't get to do his show on Monday, whatever it's called. So right now I'm going to let you become relevant.
Irrelevant. It's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
You're extra irritating today. It's got to be the chair, man. It's got to be that chair.
Wait a minute, Brad. He wasn't irritated until we talked about him that last segment. He was smiling, having a good day. He was talking today. Was he not? He's been into it today.
Yeah,
but
compared to the last 2 days.
You've been irritating on your flip-flopping Packers opinions. Like, you've been irritating all day.
Oh, stop it.
You're getting us into beefs where I'm calling Jason Wilde, and he's like, dude, what's going on here? Like, well, Kyle's going on here.
Oh, Stro. Now he's lashing out. Now I see what Ben's talking about. You're lashing out, buddy. It's
you're
okay.
sounding like Ben. This is crazy. There's an evolution before my eyes.
He was great. And then I said you had swagger. It was just goofy swagger. I like that.
So,
I literally like that.
I got a text from my college roommate, Max, and he just texted me, goofy swagger. And I said, that's not a compliment, correct? And he said, I think goofy's a compliment. I think swagger is a compliment. The moment you combine the two, bad. It's not a compliment.
So it was your roommate Max?
Max, yeah.
Did he agree that it was not a compliment?
Yes, he agreed.
Oh, wow.
But he agreed it was probably realistic, though.
That part we didn't get to. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's not a compliment.
Why are you mad at me for just being honest and real with you? You shouldn't be mad at me. You should be happy that I actually know that much about you that I can say, yeah, you got goofy swagger and I love it, man.
It's a wild adjective. Wild adjective. Goofy.
It's a good one. I mean,
it's good.
Goofy was my favorite.
Of course it was.
So,
Goofy. That's so good.
What's the son's name? Max was in the movie. What, Max? Oh, good. Want to dance in the movie? Go fishing?
Who is your favorite Disney character growing up, Kyle?
Mickey Mouse.
You say that without conviction.
Because I don't know. I didn't really have a favorite.
Oh.
I just kind of Daffy Duck maybe. I like Daffy.
That's Warner Brothers.
Oh well, there you go. Don't recall then. I love going to Disney World.
I like
Donald. I like Donald.
I like Donald too.
I like
Donald's my
Donald.
favorite.
You're right. I like Donald.
Anyway.
So yeah, become relevant here, Stroh.
When I went to Disney World, I got a hat that was the brim was long and it had teeth. It was Goofy's head.
With the ears?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, that was a classic.
My niece still has it. I wore it like a month ago.
Oh, wow.
With the Mickey Mouse gloves. I look awesome.
You look swagger.
You've never convinced me of the goofy swagger more than right now. It's all
when I wear that hat, I have goofy swagger.
Yes, you do.
No.
In general, I have swagger.
Yeah, that goofy hat.
So anyway,
feels so comfortable.
Let's be honest about something else now. John Blackwell, Badgers guard, has announced he will declare for the NBA draft today.
Oh wow!
However, with the caveat that he can maintain his eligibility, so he has the opportunity to go get evaluated and assessed by NBA personnel, with the option, of course, to pull out of the NBA draft. And has also declared that he will remain with Wisconsin and will play for Greg Gard if he does, which he will, return to Wisconsin. Seems like a win-win situation to me for John Blackwell. However, A, not ready to see him leave yet. And B, I don't think the NBA is ready for him yet.
Considering all the big-name guys that the NBA is going to welcome in, or even to Europe, Blackwell's very good. I don't think he's there yet. He can get to that point with a couple more years, even one more at Wisconsin. So I fully expect him to be back. An interesting name I saw hit the portal. Old friend of the program, AJ Storr from Kansas. Would you spin the block on AJ Storr?
No.
No.
Absolutely
Really?
not.
Maybe.
No.
He was really good under the system.
Did you just remember he's
a me guy.
In his shooting percentage in the NCAA tournament game, he was
Brad,
did not show up.
I get we're in a new era of collegiate athletics, but that's a guy that attended 4 different high schools in 4 years.
Did?
And is now will be likely his 4th university in 4 years.
Oh, wow.
That will be his 8th school in 8 years.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that about high school.
Yeah, he went to 4 different high schools.
Wow.
So,
that is nuts. Yeah, okay.
I'm
on
not
team.
spinning the block.
I'm on team.
We can't
not spin the block.
I mean, his value is down, but he's still going to want, what, $500,000?
Yeah, it's a pay cut right there.
It is a pay cut, but
what do you make, $1 million?
You made $1 million.
We not paying him that much.
He averaged 6 points for $1 million.
Man, I wish.
How many
for
points?
39 games? Or no, not even that, 35 games?
You and I could get 3 in a college basketball game.
I don't give Kyle that much credit.
Yeah, no, I am 5'10".
You couldn't get 3 points?
Doug, how many minutes am I playing?
25.
You got to give me 40 minutes to make
the whole game to score 3 points. Just take it to the hoop and get fouled.
Take it to the hoop and get fouled?
Yeah.
Brother, I am 5'10". I am not Kyrie Irving. I take it to the hoop and get blocked. It's a three-pointer. That's all I got. They probably just say, let him stand out there. If he make it, that's fine. That's the only way I score.
Just rip threes.
Dude, these kids are extremely athletic.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm 5'10", out of shape. I couldn't make it 3 minutes up and down the court without huffing and puffing. But shout out to John Blackwell. Actually, I think this is great for him because he gets that opportunity to kind of see what it is. And that means that obviously somebody told him that he's good enough to explore it. So that's good for the Badgers. I never really saw him as like an NBA guy because I don't think he's explosive enough and athletic enough. Either. But hey, the fact that he gets to explore that is even more power to him. Hopefully he comes back after exploring and kills it next year because we're definitely going to need him to step up. Even though it looks like they're going to get their top recruit that they're trying to get out of the portal. And they're a finalist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a kid who played for San Diego State, and then I forgot what school he's transferring from now. No, it might be he went for FAU to think he was at San Diego State last year, and now it looks like he's coming potentially to Wisconsin.
I saw a guy, I don't know his name. I should have screenshot it and sent it to you guys. Started off at Ohio State, went to South Carolina, back to Ohio State. Now he's transferring back to South Carolina. You believe that?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, in the era of NIL, do you think he just has a house in both locations now?
Might as well have just kept it. Just
house.
keep it.
Huh? No, these kids still rent. They're not buying houses.
Well, I know, but in theory, it might have been a good option for this guy rather than hauling all of his things back and forth between South Carolina and Ohio. Not the easiest shipping.
It's not. I hope this NIL stuff never goes away. I got little cousins right now who are, going through all this. They're living in a golden age right now. Where I'm just like, you know what, little cousin?
It's not going to go away, but there's eventually going to be some more rules and regulations than there are now because there are zero.
Well, get paid. I tell them, go get paid. If y'all
more
get paid,
power to you. I agree.
Take that check because they gonna get paid more money than what a lot of us will see at the age of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Oh, yeah. All right, I got a hot take.
All right, what's your hot take?
It's kind of a weird hot take, so we only need to talk about it for like 90 seconds. So last night, the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots agreed to a trade. Former Tennessee, the college quarterback, and last year Patriots backup quarterback Joe Milton III was traded to the Cowboys. He threw the fastest football in the NFL last year. The fastest football in the last 10 years in the NFL, by the way. Fastball out of Joe Milton. I think in the next year and a half, he'll be the Cowboys starter.
Wow.
Dak Prescott no more. Joe Milton III will be the starting quarterback of the Cowboys by the end of the 2026 season. That's my hot take.
Is it because he throws the ball so fast?
I'm just enthralled by that because I have a dumb brain.
Oh.
So, yes, that's exactly why.
Wow, that's hot. That's spicy. I don't see it. Oh, boy. Unless he makes major strides. He went from the Patriots. That's the thing.
Well, Drake May is clearly their guy.
Yeah, he was there before Drake May?
No, they were both drafted last year.
Same year.
They drafted Drake May in the first round. They drafted Milton. I believe it was a 6th round pick.
Milton is
and he started when May got hurt.
He's a really good athlete. Like, he's a great arm, but at Michigan he struggled when he was at Michigan before he ended up going to Tennessee. He played well. I mean, I don't think he'll take Dak Prescott's position quite yet because I think Dak still has some gas left in the tank. It's one thing if it was like, we're talking about Matthew Stafford with the Rams who's at the end, but I think Dak just has more years left where Joe is just a backup just in case.
Yeah, and I think Jerry really wants that Super Bowl before the lights go out.
I got bad news. He's not going to win Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But who do you think he's more likely to do it with, Dak or Joe Milton?
Dak.
What a dumb question. The answer's no.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Dak or Joe Milton?
Is that it for becoming relevant, Strofe? All right, that's becoming relevant with Strofe. Are you still mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Oh, Brad, is he not mad at me?
I just think you're dumb. That's it.
No, see, now.
There's some ill will.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay.
No ill will.
I'm bigger than that. I'm not going to lie. You know what? You're having a day. You're having a moment. It's okay. People have feelings and emotions. Like Wildy said, some people have emotions. And you do.
I do.
Yeah. My daddy told me you're a Wallace. Bump your emotions. Toughen up. So, obviously, y'all didn't do that in the stroke.
When can we have your
little
dad
boo-boo kitty? Oh, my God.
We had my mom on the show recently.
My dad isn't entertaining.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
No, my dad is like the quiet guy. He's more of I think I get a lot of my
reaction. He has so many great lines. Cheaper to keeper, bump your emotions.
Yeah, those are just like life lessons. Those aren't just like things that he's okay. My dad isn't built to talk. My mom is built to talk. Not
Alternative idea. I want Papa Wallace to write top 10 life lessons.
Ooh.
I don't even know if that would be good. My dad is an interesting cat. Like he's. I mean, if you want to ask him like top Marlboro, not Marlboro cigarettes. I don't even know what. I don't even think I should be talking about that. But he that's what he knows. He knows how to smoke
He's got some bedrock like life statements.
He's an old school guy. He was born in the 50s.
See, we need more of that, Kyle. We need more of that.
We do need more of that.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not a radio guy.
How about 5? We already
Just
got
5.
2.
I can ask him. I'm telling you,
3 more.
he's not the entertainer. I get some of my reaction from him because he can react now. But my mom is the one who's the crazy one. She's the one who talks crazy to people all the time.
Wow. Maybe another idea. Maybe Mama Wallace.
How about both?
No. I'd rather not. My parents aren't. They're not. Nah.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
We'll have Boo Boo Kitty keep coming on. Boo Boo Kitty's mom keep coming on. Right, Strofe?
I'd love to have my mom on more. Love talking to her.
I love
She was
that.
lovely. She was lovely.
But something that really got me excited, KBN Nation, is the fact that the Bucks may be getting Damian Lillard back. And all of a sudden, I am back on the Bucks championship train. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to talk about that and so much more coming up on the other side. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on ESPN Milwaukee.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Is one of the things that your girlfriend gets upset with is you interrupting her like this?
Probably. I just complimented you. What the hell? Stroh feeds you something in your ear and you Ron Burgundy verbatim what he says? I set you up for something, you jerk.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Northbound on 43, still backing up from the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. On the southbound side, slowing from Capitol Drive all the way down past an accident scene off on the right shoulder at Fond du Lac Avenue. Stays heavy all the way down to the KK River. Westbound on 94, we do have a crash right at 35th Street. That is blocking the right lane right now. So delays coming out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is backing up as well from 68th Street all the way through the stadium. Southbound on 41, you're looking at delays from about Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 37. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. A chance of rain later on in the evening, a high of 45 at the lake, 51 inland. Weather is brought to you by Avondale Roofing. Raise the roof and your standards with Avondale Roofing, your trusted partner for over 30 years. Remember, they get on top so you don't have to. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry, these high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list.
But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again.
What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree.
What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
It's time to show off your skills and earn a pair of Bucks tickets for the regular season finale April 13th. Now's the time of year when we're all trying to get buckets. At home, on the driveway, in the gym, or even in the office. Send us a video of your best hoops trick shots. Use hashtag Bucks Trick Shot and show us what you've got. It's the Bucks Trick Shot Contest. Send your shots now through April 8th on Twitter at ESPN Milwaukee using hashtag Bucks Trick Shot.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
What up, KBN Nation? You know I got to tell you all about Citizens Bank here. I'm telling you, it's a new banking account that I just opened up, and it's so convenient. They have a wonderful app there that you can utilize. You can do all your mobile banking from the Citizens Bank app. But then on top of that, they want to set you up. They want to set you up to be great. They want to set you up so you can cover your expenses, right? They want to set you up so you can start investing. They want to set you up so you can level up. So whether or not it's buying a new home or investing in a CD rate, them at Citizens Bank, they will take care of you. And y'all know how I feel about local. The best thing about them is the fact that they want to get to know you, and they love the fact that they are local. They are right there around you. There's a lot of y'all listening right now that are looking up, saying, oh, there goes Citizens Bank. Walk in the door, talk to somebody, open up a checking account, open up a savings account. I'm telling you this right now, you will absolutely love it, because we are all at the point in our life where we want to be smarter with our money. We want to save up. We want to pay attention to interest rates, and we want to think about buying a home or upgrading our home. You can do that at Citizens Bank. So don't wait. Do it now. Get ready. Take the next step and check out citizensbankwi.bank. That's citizensbankwi.bank. I'm telling you, you are going to love the experience. Visit citizensbankwi.bank. It is Kyle, Brust, and Norman here on ESPN Milwaukee, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Bradley Nortman. And that is also Alex Strofe behind the glass. Now, we've talked about Goody a lot today in the Green Bay Packers. But there was also some big breaking news, if you're a Bucs fan, that came out yesterday, as Shams talked about the fact that he thinks that there might be a possibility that Damian Lillard could come back for the playoffs. When I heard this audio here, I said, okay, this sounds good. I'm ready to get back on the train. Let me know what y'all think about this audio when you hear it.
Yeah, there is a chance. There's optimism, and with blood clots, usually it's an extended absence, it's a months-long absence. But I'm told his treatment started early. They identified kind of what it was. They started him on treatment. Then they finally got the diagnosis back. He's having doctor appointments every single week to gauge how that blood clot looks in that calf. My understanding is doctors are encouraged by where it's at. They see that blood clot is actually lowering. It's decreasing. It's diminishing. And he's doing some light workouts right now. He's hopeful to get cleared here in the next week and a half to go full go contact and then resume basketball and play in games for the Milwaukee Bucks. So
you heard it there. That was Shams Charania on the Pat McAfee show. The blood clot is decreasing. He's, doing a little bit of activity. He's 2 weeks away from being full go. Bradley Nortman, the NBA season's about 2 weeks from being over. When you hear that audio, where does your mind take you?
Oh, boy, I'm excited, Kyle. When I heard the Dame news that he was going to be out, and I anticipated – when I heard there was a blood clot, I was like, forget about it. The rest of this year is gone. It's done. It's over. And I don't know how you make a legitimate championship run with this team without Damian Lillard. So I just kind of said, okay, well, it'll just be one of those seasons where injury ruins the Bucks season again. But hearing that, I have a new glimmer of hope that Dame can return, maybe slightly rested because he hasn't played. If he can come back fully healthy, and you have a Bucks team that is fully healthy entering the postseason, I got a little bit of Last Dance feel in me because, Kyle, when you think about it, I mean, take it back to the 2019, 2020, they blew it in 2019 when losing to the Raptors, and it was just weird in the bubble, right? This very weird bubble situation. I believe Giannis got hurt in that last game against the Heat. But anyway, they won the championship in 2021, right? But since then, 2022, they lost to the Celtics. Chris Middleton was hurt.
Yep.
And then the 2023 and 2024 first-round losses, but Giannis was hurt in both of those. So we haven't seen in 4 years a Bucks team fully healthy entering the postseason. I was hoping this would be the year. The Dame news sort of ruined that. I said, here we go again, another marquee injury. But if he can come back and be healthy, I think they have a fighter's chance because you have two of the best players in the world on your team. If they're fully healthy, renew my, maybe not expectation, but hope that maybe, just maybe, they catch lightning in a bottle and they put their Superman cape on and they can possibly get it done.
Let me just be a little honest here. So I had an opportunity to get Bucks playoff tickets, and I said no because there was no Dame. And now if Dame comes back, I'm going to have FOMO. I'm going to have FOMO for sure because Damian Lillard gives me life. He makes me believe that there actually is a chance that the Milwaukee Bucks can actually make a run to an NBA title. As you just said, Brad, it hasn't been fair, right? We haven't been able to be fully healthy, to have our guys together in years. And hopefully we're hoping, okay, Bobby Portis is out right now, but he'll be back. He'll be well rested. We have Bobby. We have a healthy Dame. We have a healthy Giannis. We get some chemistry between the new acquisitions of Kevin Porter Jr. and Kyle Kuzma. This team could be primed and ready to go to try to make a run. But once we heard the news about Dame and blood clots, we were all devastated. The most important thing here is Dame's health. So I hope Dame is okay.
For sure.
Because we want him to be healthy and because this is a serious thing. But if Dame does have an opportunity to play, and if somehow Dame can be Dame, right? He can be the guy that we know him to be. I'm thinking the Milwaukee Bucks can again make a run in the playoffs. So I'm going to have FOMO if Dame is back and my Bucks are balling in the playoffs. But when I heard that audio for Shams, I said, oh, my goodness, this is breaking news. When you heard it, Strofe, what did you think?
This is what we're hoping for.
Oh, you don't sound optimistic. You just sound like,
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just beaten down and broken, man. That's the truth.
Is it from the Bucks or is it from the fact that you just realize you're goofy?
Above.
Dang.
I love me some Strofe.
Merciless Kyle Wallace today.
I love Strofe. I do.
I love Alex
I want to give him a hug. I mean, let me tell you something about Strofe. Strofe, you're winning at life, bro. Like, you're winning.
I would agree.
Yeah, so, I mean, who cares that you're a little goofy with swagger? That goofy swagger ain't never stopped you from doing nothing in life.
Now it's turning into a motivational speech.
Neither has that pig heart of yours.
Only Kyle Wallace, man.
Can't nothing hold you down.
Hey, Strofe, you're weird as hell, but you know what? That's good for you.
Hey, against the odds, look at you.
Look at you.
Look at you. You calling me a walking miracle now?
No, that would be Ben. You're just, you're just special. A little special. He is a little special, though, isn't he? Like, he's special in so many ways. Like, he's special in the sense that you just special, you good, we love you, you a little different. Come on now.
What's happening?
We've seen that athletic ability. You're a little different, but it's okay because you're our different guy. Right, Strofe? Should I just go to Balaga? Brian Balaga, Packers Hall of Famer, future Packers Hall of Famer. Brian Balaga joins us coming up next. Keep it like you're listening. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. We're going to ask him about GM Goody. We're going to ask about Trey Hendrickson and the direction this football team is going. So keep it like Brian Balaga coming up next right here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Milwaukee.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'm sorry that I don't want to touch Ben's Peter.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I always loved the line, I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to prove us right.
But that's from a non-petty person. A petty person would never say that.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Is that why Tom Petty was playing when you came back on?
Yeah, that's Matchbox 20.
Kurt Petty.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you. Buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at schneiderjobs.com. That's schneiderjobs.com.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate Charity Concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate Charity Concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner,
It can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
for free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired.
And we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
We can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
All right, so got to blame our bad producer here. I hate to do it because I myself am a good producer, I would like to say, on Sunday Karma.
I've never heard that, actually.
You know, they try to paint this narrative. You know, what is good?
Wait, hold on.
Reliability
you
is
mean
the
you've never heard the show, or you've never heard Kyle be called the bad producer, or all of the above?
Never heard me call it good
All
producer.
of them. I have never listened to Sunday Karma. I hate to say it.
That's okay. You're missing
Well, actually, that's actually not true. But this is interesting. So when KBN Nation might not know, but when KBN was formed, I knew of Ben, and I guest hosted on Scalzo and Brust, so I hosted with Scalzo, but I didn't know Kyle. I didn't know you. So I was like, what's his style like? You know, what's he like on air? So for like a couple weeks leading up to when we first met each other, when KBN was launched, I listened to Sunday Karma. And actually, you know what my first reaction was?
What was it?
It's like, damn, Kyle's good on air.
Oh! wow.
I was like, this guy's good.
Oh,
I was like, this
wow.
guy's got good energy. He's exciting. He's fun. I was like, I hope I can bring it.
Oh, wow. Bro,
It was. I've never told you that before. But
Thank
that was,
you for that compliment.
It's true.
That
It's
means
true.
everything
was
as
like,
I
man,
get
this
ready
guy's
to
good.
leave today. Thank
But
you.
As an on-air voice, I can't judge your producing abilities, but as an on-air voice, I was like, this guy's pretty good.
The show sounded good, right?
You sounded good.
All right, then. That's on me. But Strofe just did the. I'm going to do some kissing up because you know what? I think I just need to extend the olive branch and just apologize to everybody. And I want to start with Brian Bulaga himself, the former Green Bay Packer, future Packer Hall of Famer. Brian, I just want to start off by saying I apologize for the antics of my producer and Alex Strofe and my co-host and Ben Brust, because on Monday it sounds like you were ready to go to work. You were looking forward to talking to KBN Nation. And you text Alex Strofe and he sent you a picture of people at the bar hanging out and did not say sorry. So I want to say I apologize for those buffoons and those clowns.
Unprofessional, Brian. It's unprofessional.
It is. So I apologize.
Well, I appreciate. Yeah, I was ready to go to work. I was ready. I was sitting, sitting at my workstation. I was ready, and I sent a couple texts. But yeah, you know what? Guys were being guys. You know what I mean? They were at the bar having a good time. It was my bad. I should have. It was my fault. I should have known that you guys were off. You know, I should have known. So that was my fault.
Wow, Brian, that's a locker room guy right there.
It is.
It's a locker room guy.
Listen, accountability. If it was me, Brian, I would deflect. Like, no, it was their fault. But listen, this is why I didn't make the NFL. Not because I wasn't athletic enough, because I didn't have enough accountability.
That too.
But we are talking with Brian Bulaga here on Kyle Brust and Nortman. No Ben Brust today, Brian, but we do want to start off. We've been having a conversation just talking about Goody and what the standard is for Green Bay, and if people are upset at the fact that he wasn't active enough. So to you, as somebody who played in Green Bay, who was underneath the regime of Goody as the GM there as well, what should the standard be for the Green Bay Packers when it comes to expectations from a general manager?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think always the expectation that you look at, at least I always did, is the team getting better? Did the team improve in the offseason? And when I was there, you always looked at, we weren't a very active team in free agency. And why weren't we? Because we always had a lot of pieces in-house that were very good. We were always a very good team. And how are you going to add pieces that improve a team that you feel pretty good about? And when you have a team that's pretty good at that point, you got guys that you're paying big salaries to. And who are you going to pay more than the guys you're paying big salaries to at that point? At this point in time, though, with Goody and this team, the last 2 years, he's made big moves. And my first year, my first year with LaFleur, he made big moves, right? He signed Zadarius. He signed Preston. He signed Adrian Amos. He signed Billy Turner. He made big moves in that year. He improved the roster. So I think each year we have to look at, what the roster needs, what improvements need to be made. And this year, I think people maybe look at it a little differently because the signings weren't as flashy as, say, last year with McKinney and Jacobs. They were a guard, which people don't find that interesting. I get it. It's not as flashy. And I like the signing because it's an offensive lineman. And obviously a nickel corner that not many people know about. He's an AFC West player, but he's very respected in the AFC West. I remember going against him as a Charger. He's very respected out there, and expect him to play well. So, two signings that were necessary, that were needs for this team, and I think he's done what he needed to. I know everyone wanted a receiver. I get it, but he feels good about the room as it is, and that's just kind of where we're at. And,
Do you
I
feel
think
good about the
done
room?
Enough. Do I feel good about the room?
Yeah.
So for me personally, I think the room with the three guys, so Dobbs, Wicks, Reed, I think they're good enough. And I thought they were good enough last year, and they just underperformed or just were inconsistent enough, from what we expected them to be. I expect them to be better. I really do. I expect them to be better than what they were last year. And what happened with, during the Super Bowl interview with Josh Jacobs and calling for a number one wide receiver, I think that's going to light a fire too. I really do. I think that's going to light a fire, and I think those guys are going to be motivated coming into the season to show what they're all about. So, I think the room is good enough. They just have to live up to their own potential, and I think they have that. I really do, because this time last year, this wasn't even a conversation. Like, we weren't having this conversation about this room last year. It was about how good can this room really be. And now we're talking about, is this room even, I mean, how bad is this room is the conversation. I don't think that's the case. I think these guys are going to step up and play well.
Brian, new guidelines, I guess is the right way to put it, came out about Hard Knocks. Now a team that made the playoffs can be selected for Hard Knocks. Put yourself back in a Green Bay Packer uniform. What if Green Bay is selected for Hard Knocks? Your reaction as a player would be what?
Disappointed. Really mad.
Let them know.
I would not like it. I mean, because listen, the cameras being in there, like guys act different when that's going on. You get some potentially not real personalities, and coaches act a certain way. There's maybe some uptightness going on, and I just don't like it. I mean, it just makes training camp feel off and disingenuine, and I just don't like it. I would not like it.
Thank you so much, Brian, for keeping it real, and thanks for joining us here today, man.
All right, guys, take care.
Yes, that was Brian Bulaga. You can hear him coming up next with Homer on the Home.